know it's been a little while, but today we're back on NFL Head Coach 09, and I know it's been, I think, like 2 months since I posted the first video, and today we're doing things a little bit differently with the structure, because I do want to, while we're in this little 2-month gap leading into college football 26, and we're kind of looking for something to do, something fresh and something fun, this game always sticks with me as that fun thing to do. So if you haven't seen episode 1, then I would suggest you at least go watch parts of it. I know it's longer and longer than even this video, but I would suggest you at least go and watch like the off season a little bit so you could see what we were able to gather. But if not, let me refresh you guys a little bit. We went 7-9 last year when I took over. This is the team that I kind of grew up on and became like my childhood team. This is where I became a fan of guys like Clinton Porter, Santana Moss, and, Sean Taylor was a little bit even before this time, but Chris Cooley, guys like that. And this team was always a frustrating one. They were never able to find a quarterback. They were always making bad roster moves. I took them over, and 7-9 in our first year is pretty solid. We made some moves to go up in the draft, and we really snagged a superstar level wide receiver in DeFazio Combs, who we're really excited about, and we're going to get to see him in his rookie season. Quarterback was not as easy to manage. We were able to go and draft a little bit later on Jared May, and he is going to be our starter for this year. He is maybe a little bit more limited in his upside, but he is definitely a lot better than what we were rocking with last year. And again, if you want to go see a disaster of quarterback play, last year would be the season to go watch. But a lot of exciting stuff to go and deal with in this video. As you can see, Jared May getting the start. We also got Chad Pennington as kind of an emergency backup. But you can see 74 overall, and overalls definitely work a lot differently in this game. But there's so much to go over if you're new to this game. But just know there's a lot of stuff that will be happening outside of the gameplay and outside of the off the field stuff. Off seasons are a lot more exciting, a lot more fun. The potential system is a lot better. Scouting is a lot better. The draft system is a lot better. Everything is a lot more exciting. You can see Clinton Portis as our starting running back. We got Deuce McAllister, a little bit of an older version of him as our backup. Santana Moss, DeFazio Combs, who has 96 potential, and he is going to be joined also by Antoine Randall L. Chris Cooley at tight end. And our offensive line, while a little bit older, is really solid with guys like Chris Samuels and Randy Thomas. So, 2 older but star players on the line. We got Victor Abiamiri, who we signed last year, was a really nice player. One of our day 2 picks was Cass over there, who's going to be a starter, and we're going to see if he can help us out. But the defensive line is really rough. We went out and signed Mike Vrabel, London Fletcher, also one of the more underrated linebackers in NFL history. And then we also snagged Braylon Beaudrew with one of our picks as well, who is a really fun draft story type of player, and we're going to let Beaudrew handle things. And also at the safety spot, one of our other star players, Laron Landry. So it's a fun team, and we are going to be going into one of the really exciting parts of this whole game in general, which is the draft stories. We'll hop in to the draft story, and then we'll get you onto the field for week 1, where we get to coach these guys, call the plays, and just watch and see what happens, and if our players can help us out a little bit. Only thing left we got to do is make our promise to the owner. He expects us to finish below 500 this year. After a 7-9 season, a little bit of reshuffling, I'm expecting hopefully 7 wins at least. I don't want to do worse, but we're going to promise him a below 500 record and see what happens.
Adam Schefter of NFL Network here with your college football update. Quarterback Willie Eidelberg from Oklahoma State has started off strong this month, leading the Cowboys to a 4-0 start and a number 10 national ranking. I also have my eye on these kids out of Notre Dame, a pair of defensive ends named Brewer and McCall. They both look like possible first-round prospects with their outstanding play early in the college football season, leading Notre Dame to early victories over Michigan and Purdue. Thanks for watching NFL Network.
So as you can see, a really fun part of this game is those draft stories, and we'll get more. We get one every month, and then we'll get even more in the off season with all the fun stuff that we get to do with the best scouting system any EA game has ever had. But we get to start off our season against the Eagles on the road, and it is looking rough. 24-3 is your score, and this team is not facing Donovan McNabb. They're facing Kevin Kolb. You remember Kevin Kolb, as they're going to throw one up top, and that ball is going to be knocked away, and we go to third down and 10 where they hand it off. And it's Brian Westbrook, one of the better running backs of the 2000s, getting a 7-yard gain. But it's going to be fourth down where David Akers will not hit this field goal from 47 yards out. So it's going to leave the door open for us to try to see if we can make a comeback, but down by 21. We're going to see if we have anything in the tank left as Clinton Portis for a grab for the first down, 10-yard gain, as this is our first look at the rookie quarterback, Jaron May. Play action over the middle. That's going to be caught, and it's our rookie wide receiver, Newberry, who's kind of lower on the depth chart, but we have some 4 wide receiver packages as he's going to drop back from under center. Throw one. Clinton Portis lined up out wide. He had to make an acrobatic catch there, but he's going to end up breaking a tackle and getting himself 8 yards to the 28-yard line as he's going to go with another play action. A lot of play action here, but a wide open man. Antoine Randall, touchdown. And that's going to be 24-10. Onside kick, as that's going to be scooped up by an offensive lineman. Teams in this game love doing some weird stuff with their onside kick team, but an offensive lineman scoops it up, hangs on. And with 4.5 minutes to go, the Eagles have the football. They're up by 14 as Cobb's going to get the pressure in. That looked like it could have been a fumble, but they're going to say a forward pass. I don't know if some tuck roll action's going on there as Cobb's going to load up, then throw a one-on-one. It's caught. Broken tackle. Touchdown, Eagles. And that is probably going to ruin our hopes and dreams of winning this one in our season opener, as that ball is going to be knocked away at the line of scrimmage. We're just catching you with the highlights here, see if we can pull something off. 4th down and 8. May is going to have it knocked away, incomplete. And the Eagles take over 31-10 in good field position. Cobb is going to throw one over the middle. That's caught for the first down. And the Eagles are not slowing down. They're going to continue to pour things on. The passing attack, that's going to be Westbrook out the backfield. Broken tackle. Brian Westbrook, touchdown. And the Eagles pad on another score. It's 38-10 now as we go ahead to the 2-minute warning in May. We get some good reps here at least. Chris Cooley with the first down grab. And that's going to take us to a 2nd down and 19 after a penalty, as that's going to be thrown to a receiver, Antoine Randall again, touchdown, as Randall at least is having a nice game. Onside kick, down by 21. Don't think we're really going to have any hope in this one, even if we did get the onside kick, but that's going to wrap things up here. 38-17, and a pretty okay debut for Jaron May. Almost 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Clinton Portis on the ground, 4.3 a carry, so pretty solid there. Just wasn't able to get the football that much because we were down by so much. But Antoine Randall had a nice game, and DeFazio Combs in his debut, 7 for 89. So we're happy to see that. Interceptions, nothing there, but it was Calvin Pace who got the sack for us. Now, college scouting, there's not a lot to go through in the regular season. We just kind of get to pick what we want to do. And then, you know, the game plan, you get 3 a week. I typically like to do 2 and then use the 3rd one to give our players a little bit of rest, because player fatigue and all that stuff does very much matter, and you don't want to run your players into the ground by having them practice every single time. And, you know, I try to keep my players a little bit healthy over here as we go into our next game, where it's a little bit closer. It's 17-9 to kick off the 4th quarter, and we are in scoring territory as we hand off to the fullback, Mike Sellers, for the first down, as it's 2nd down and 10. May throwing to the outside. That's going to be caught for Clinton Portis, and a gain of 4. Now setting up 3rd down and 6, where we will run the football. Portis is the engine of this offense. He's going to get us 4. 4th down and 2, and a big call. Down by 8 with 6 minutes to go. We could kick the field goal, but I want to go for it here on 4th down. And if there's going to be a player I want to trust with the football in his hands, it's going to be Clinton Portis, because I'd much rather hand it to a Pro Bowl running back than give our rookie quarterback in his 2nd game the football, as we got 2 tight ends on that left side. And Portis is not going to get to the edge. They shot the gap and stopped him. And now Matt Leinart in the offense gets to take over, as that's going to be a stop in the backfield, loss of 4. But he's going to drop back and throw now. 2nd and 14. Got a short completion there. And remember, this unbelievable wide receiver duo of Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden, as they hand the football off. It's going to be a juke to the outside and going to be stopped. Punt is going to be received as we get the 3 and out. Santana Moss back to return. Had an amazing season last year. Was a Pro Bowl return man. And there goes Santana Moss for a pretty solid return to the 45-yard line, setting us up in good field position again, as May will throw. That ball's floated up in the air. That was like triple coverage. He almost just gave it away. 3rd down and 7. Blitz set in. He's got an open man down the field. Caught. DeFazio Combs. Touchdown. And the rookie gets his first career score, and the 2-point conversion for the tie. Jared May has an open man in the flats. He's going to float it out there, but it was a little too late. He had to get that there quicker. He let him out of bounds, and now 17-15 is your score, and we get one of these moments where it's a little frustrating because sometimes you get forced to do things you don't want to do in this game, but it's in the name of trying to keep your job. This is one of the difficult parts is sometimes like you sit there and say we should be kicking it off and trust in our defense with 4.5 to go, but if we want to keep our job and hope that we can have the approval and the leeway to eventually make our own decisions that are a little bit more beneficial to the team, we're going to have to just trust things and see what happens here on the onside kick because, like I said, our promise this year is to finish below 500. You finish below 500, and things might get a little worrying when it comes to your job security, especially in back-to-back years. This game is not going to hesitate to fire you if you don't do what they want you to do. So we're going to have to set them up in great field position because obviously an onside kick is a very low percentage thing as Edgerrin James gets upended, and we do get another 3-and-out. And from the 33-yard line, this game also, I mean, you got to remember, this was back in the 2000s where kickers weren't as good, weren't as strong-footed, and were a little bit more willing to punt from inside the 40. I know nowadays in the NFL, that's a field goal or you go for it. You don't punt from inside the 40 of your opponent, but back then you did a little bit more. Still not, maybe ideal to do that from the 33-yard line, but we get stopped for a 3-and-out, and we're going to have to punt the football back. And with under 3 minutes to go, it's going to be the Cardinals set up a good field position because this is a weak punt. That's getting fielded at the 40-yard line and a broken tackle, and that's going to result in a 15-yard return. They're at the 26-yard line, and now it looks like a field goal at least attempt is in the bag for this Cardinals team, unless they got the worst kicker of all time, as they're going to hand this football off to Edgerrin James again, who is trying to cut back and bounce it outside for a big run. He's not going to get there. Field goal try is going to be up, and it is good. We're going to see if Jared May can go on a 2-minute drill to go and win this game. His first career win. He's going to throw it outside. It's the first chance he gets. He throws a pick, and that's going to be taken back for a touchdown. There is going to be a flag on the field, so this one is going to at least help us a little bit, but it's only on the return. It's still an interception either way. The only thing that changes is we're going to get a small chance to stop them and maybe get the football back, but Edgerrin James on the edge is going to get stopped. They have not been able to run the football very well, but Jared May in his first chance, there was a pick. We're going to get at that 3-and-out, so this defense has done a great job in this fourth quarter, but Jared May is going to get sacked on his first drop back, so a sack and a pick. Come on, you got to be a little bit more clutch than that. Free rusher off the edge. Hey, he's going to get that football away. I thought that was a fumble, but he'll get it away. And on third down, it's going to be caught. Santana Moss, but he puts the football on the ground. And that's going to be Cardinal football. So I think that was a little bit of a coming full circle a little bit, because it felt like when he got hit there, he didn't get the football away. But then in the very next play, we fumble. So I guess it makes it all right. Jared May goes 12 of 28 and throws 2 interceptions. It was a promising debut for him, but not so much in game 2. Clinton Portis wasn't able to get a lot going on the ground. Touchdowns are caught by Fred Davis. DeFazio Combs, just the 1 catch, but it was a 41-yard touchdown for his first career touchdown. Sacked by Calvin Pace again. Fred Smoot with an interception, and we are on to week 3 where we are back at home, and this is going to be another game where we're going to have to pull ourselves out of a bit of a deficit here. 24-10, and the Cowboys are up, but we are driving an attempt to make it a 1-score game as May to throw it. He's going to go over the middle. That's going to be caught Santana Moss, and that ball's going to be on the ground, and that's going to be picked up by Dallas, but I don't think that was a fumble. We're definitely going to throw the challenge flag on that one, and you can see that was very clearly not a fumble, so no need to panic just yet. We got the football back, and we're going to have it inside the 10-yard line with the chance to really make this a 1-score game. I mean, we've hopped in, and we've been at a deficit every single time so far in these first 3 games, and we're going to go and see what we can do. First and goal from the 10-yard line, and we're going to go with our most trusted player right now, Clinton Portis, to try to finish things off. It's going to be a handoff right up the middle. Portis, he's got a lane, makes a move, and Portis down to the 1-yard line, and in the goal line package, Clinton Portis gets it to the outside, 1 cut, touchdown! And Washington makes it a 1-score game. Dallas, and they're gonna make me do this again. onside kick, I guess. I know that, like, it's the wrong decision. I objectively know, but look at our owner approval. It's a 55. He wants us to do it, and, you know, we're already 0-2. I'm trying to play for job security here, and maybe we can help ourselves out a little bit. Maybe we can recover one of these for once. It's not likely, but I mean, they don't ever have their hands team out there, so maybe this offensive lineman could fumble the football or something. He's not going to. We'll drag him down. 41-yard line, but the defense last game against the Cardinals was able to get a couple of 3-and-outs and help us out a bit. As Tony Romo thrown over the middle, it's going to be caught, and none other than Jason Witten, as Romo to Witten gets them a decent gain. 2nd down and 3. That's going to be Marion Barber for the first down, and Barber to the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. It's going to be Romo to throw. Pass one-on-one on the outside. It's going to be caught, and Dallas inside the 5 as our cornerbacks are letting us down a little bit in these one-on-one situations. Now a goal line package, and shooting the gap for the tackle is going to get us to a 2nd and goal from the 6 as Dallas, open man, runs through him, and a touchdown, as that's going to get them back to a 14-point game. So Jared May, what has he got for us? Well, that's almost going to be a pick. That should have been a pick. 3rd down and 7. May spreading the field. He's going to get the pass down the field for Santana Moss, and it's incomplete. 4th down and 7. 5 minutes to play. We're going for it. That's going to be play action. Open man over the middle. That's caught for Antoine Randall L. And that's going to at least extend this game a little bit longer. Split backfield, play action, as May is going to go middle for Moss, and that's going to be caught. Broken tackle, and Santana Moss past midfield, as he's got it to 4.5 to play. Blitz sent in, and the free rusher got in, but he delivers to Fazio Combs for a 12-yard gain. Now 2nd down and 10 from the 29. He's going to float one for Combs. Again, it's caught but out of bounds, and that's going to result in 3rd down and 10. May has got a lot of pressure in. He throws off his back foot and tried to get it to Portis. It's incomplete. 4th down and 10. 4 minutes to play. This is basically your last chance, or we might be going 0-3. He throws it short of the sticks, and while Cooley catches it, it's not going to get him anywhere close to the 1st down. And now Marion Barber gets to work with a 14-point lead and running it on the ground, tossing it out to him. He's going to get a block from the fullback, get the 1st down and more, and Barber down the sidelines. Marion Barber gets caught down by LaRon Landry, but it looks like this game is all but over, which means Washington is going to be going down to 0-3 on the season, as while we were able to eventually stop them, it wasn't before they got it down to under a minute to go and tacking on a field goal to win it 34-17. May with another poor performance, so I'd say he's week 1 was nice, 2 and 3 not so much. Portis was got 2 touchdowns on the ground, but I mean, it's hard to run the football when your passing game's not doing much for you. And we're 0-3 now in the season, and things are looking really rough. And if you want to know why it's even more disastrous, while we do have some nice draft capital, we are without our 1st round pick because we made a move last year to trade up and get into the 1st round 2 times over and move up to get players that we wanted. Now, that's not to say I don't plan on picking in the 1st round. I do very much plan on making a selection in the 1st round in the next upcoming draft, but it won't be our selection. And if we are sitting here at 0-3 and we continue to lose, then it's going to be a disastrous trade if our pick ends up being like a top 5 pick. At least one thing that could be positive for us right now is in our 4th game on the road at Kansas City, we're up 28-14. So we at least can maybe get a win on the board if we don't choke this one away. But KC is driving. 4th down and 5 from the 29. They're going for it with 7 minutes to play. He's going to throw one outside. That's going to be caught. Running back's got a long way to go, and he's not going to get there. Mike Vrabel with the stop. And now we get the football back. Portis gets a block and a nice hole opened up for a gain of 8. 2nd down and 2 turns to 3rd and 2. May to the air. He's got Moss in. He's going to throw right into the safety who broke on that football. Maybe if he threw that a little bit earlier, he would have had it, but that's kind of what I've noticed from May so far, is he's a little late to get to his decisions. It's really frustrating, but you want to also see Kurt Warner is the quarterback here at Kansas City, so, you know, in this universe, Kurt Warner doesn't ride out his career in Arizona. He ends up in Kansas City, but it's not looking good for him right now, except for the fact that he will get a little bit of help here. A face mask on Washington does give them a 15-yard gain. And now over the middle, that's going to be intercepted. And we broke on the football there. And that's going to be huge for the defense to get the football back. Who was that? That was LaRon Landry. And that is not going to be a surprise. LaRon Landry, one of our best players on the entire team, is DeFazio Combs. Has a 7-yard gain, gets it to 3rd down and 3. We're going to go slam it up right up the middle. Clinton Portis, one cut to the outside, and Portis has 8 yards. And now on 3rd down and 8, we jump ahead. May is going to throw one outside for Moss. It's going to be off his hands and intercepted. You got to be kidding me. Right off the hands of Moss and into the arms of a Kansas City defender who's going to take it all the way. Touchdown. And just when it looked like we were in full control, it's going to be Kansas City down by just 1 score with 4 minutes to play. Santana Moss, I mean, it wasn't an easy grab to make, but the fact that it just flew right into the arms of a defender is going to be brutal. And now a sack to start our drive, and things could be looking all KC now as he's going to go to Moss. That ball's incomplete. Defender broke on it. 3rd down and 16. May, play action. He's going to go for Moss. This time he gets it a little bit earlier, and that's going to be caught. Santana Moss redeems himself a little bit as it's going to be a handoff. Portis, he's going to go all the way outside. I don't know about that one. Upended, and he's going to get no gain. 3rd down and 12 as it's going to be May over the middle. That ball's going to be broken up. He got leveled, and this one, I just can't, man. A win is within our grasp, and they want us to go for it on 4th down and long to try to seal this game. Obviously, you know, I've conceded at times to kick the onside kick when we are in losing situations to hope to try to make the comeback, but I can't do it this time. We need this win, and a win does give us more approval, so I'm betting on this defense to get the job done. Also, it's 4th and 12. Maybe I would have went for it if it was like 4th and 4, but 4th and 12 is just too much. We got to trust our defense to come up big here. They're going to need to go 70 yards in a minute 45 as Kurt Warner to throw it. He's got a clean pocket, and he delivers. That's going to be Dwayne Bowe for the 1st down. As now at the 44-yard line, it's going to be nice block there from the running back to set him up with time. I mean, just no pressure. And if you give Kurt Warner all the time in the world, he's going to deliver an open man for a 1st down. And another one. This one, he's boxing out the defender, and Dwayne Bowe gets into the 26-yard line. They are moving with ease as Dwayne Bowe with another grab. This one a little low, gets into 2nd down and 3. Under a minute to play. Open man for the 1st down. It's Tony Gonzalez making a miss. And Tony Gonzalez to the 10-yard line. 40 seconds to go. That ball should have been picked, but it's not going to be intercepted. And worst of all, not only is it not a pick, it wouldn't have mattered. It's pass interference. And they're going to get it at the 1-yard line with 40 seconds to play as Warner is going to have it open, man. Tony Gonzalez for the touchdown. And now, just like that, we are going to throw an interception. Are you kidding me? Are we really going to choke this game away? Warner is going to have it short of the receiver. 19 seconds. We're playing for overtime. This is ridiculous. We were up by 14, and now we're threatening to lose if they get one big play here, as it's going to be underneath. He's not going to get there. We're going to go to overtime. But my goodness, we were up by 14 and we have blown this game. We are going to win the coin toss. Remember, this is sudden death. Remember, it's first score wins as the kick is deep to kick off overtime, fielded at about the 5-yard line. He's going to get a little running start, and he's going to get to the 25 with ease. He's going to run backwards a little bit. I guess fake the defender out, break a tackle. He's going to the edge. Are you kidding me? I don't know what just happened, but he's going to be going all the way. The opening kickoff of overtime is taunted from the 10, touchdown, and we win the game on a walk-off kick return touchdown of all things. And when it looked like he was about to get met, I don't know, he like turned around, ran backwards for a second, ran forward, broke a tackle, got through. I don't know what any of that was, but we have walked it off in a win that we needed so bad. Jared May threw 4 interceptions, but we won. Portis gets 2 touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air, and a huge victory to get us to 1-3. I mean, if we were 0-4, it might have been wraps for this entire year, but we still have a slight chance as we head into our next game. It's 27-28 against the New Orleans Saints as we hand it off to Clinton Portis, who's going to set himself up from the 8-yard line and walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Clinton Portis, and he's racking up the scores this season so far. 2-point conversion is going to be good, and there might be a flag down on this one as we convert, but it's going to be a holding penalty, and some really poorly timed penalties are going to hurt us. We're still going to go for 2 for the full 7-point lead, but that's going to be short of the end zone, and it's going to be 33-28, but we do have the lead as we have to stop Drew Brees, who's going to throw over the middle, and that's going to be caught, and a broken tackle and a first down. This is a pretty stacked Brees-led offense. You see all the weapons that they have. They got guys like Marquise Colston, Reggie Bush, and a whole bunch of other players as it's going to be thrown over the middle. That's going to be broken up. We get the football back and set up 2nd down and 7 where May deep drops. Got it. Caught. Clinton Portis for a short gain. Gets it to 3rd down and 2 and we're going to run the football. Portis is not going to be able to get there. We go potentially 3 and out, but I want to keep the offense out on the field. I mean, this defense has been a little inconsistent, and I don't want to give Drew Brees the football back. How about a quarterback sneak on 4th down and 1? Jared May, what do you got for us? Right up the middle. May is not going to get there. It looks like he does not. And that's going to be Saints football in great field position. Tried to make the bold call. Didn't work out. Brees, though, he gets sacked. And that's going to be huge. 2nd down and 15. Play action Brees. He's got a clean pocket and a wide open receiver over the middle. And that's going to get it to 3rd down and 1 as Brees tosses it out. Reggie Bush for the first down. And to the 30-yard line, Bush has it. We desperately need to keep them out of the end zone here. The season is not lost if we can win this game and get back to 2-3 on the season. We need it badly, but with Brees moving this team into the red zone, 14-yard line, he's got a lot of time, only a 3-man rush, as that's at the back of the end zone, touchdown, as that is going to be a lead for the Saints. Toss it out to Reggie Bush on the 2-point conversion. He makes our corner look silly, puts him on the dirt, and the 2-point conversion is good. It's 36-33, and this defense is getting torched right now. Maybe I didn't set him up in the best position, but I trusted the offense to go and make a play. DeFazio Combs, speaking of making plays, he does just that. Portis now on the edge. Combs with a block. He's going to get the first down, and Clinton Portis getting us a 12-yard gain as May is going to drop back and throw. Open, man, wide open, and broken tackle. Another one, Antoine Randall L for 23. Now spreading the field as we find ourselves in the red zone. May floats one over the middle. That's going to be Combs. Broken tackle. Joking him out, and he's going to get into the end zone. They give it to him. Touchdown, Washington. And that is a very great drop. Probably the best drive we've had all season as it's 40-36. It's a shootout here in Washington, and the defense needs to do something here as they are going to have Brees getting the first down, and he's going to drop the throw again, and a completion. They're going to say that's incomplete. I thought he got that 2nd foot down, but no, 3rd down and 10 as Brees will throw middle right into the defender. He doesn't even react to it, but it hits him at least. We'll get the football back with a chance to seal this one, and just when it looked like maybe we'd have a chance to run this clock down, another ill-timed penalty happens. Instead of a 2nd down and 5, we are set up with 1st and 20 as we go Portis on the edge. He's going to get to the edge with a nice block, and Clinton Portis makes it look a lot better, getting the first down, 23 yards as Clinton Portis is having a massive game. He's going to break a tackle and get another solid little gain there. I mean, it looked like he was only going to get maybe 1. Instead, he gets 4. 3rd down's going to get stopped. It's 4th down and 3. They want us to go for it. And this is like I feel like a no-win situation at this point because I want to trust this offense. It didn't work on 4th down and 1. I want to trust this defense, but they've already allowed 36. We're going to put it in our defense's hands. It didn't work against Kansas City. How about this time as 3rd down and 10 already hits? Brees, play action. He's going to throw over the middle. That's incomplete too. 4th down and 10. Maybe I made the right decision. Brees is going to get the first down. This game's not over yet. 37 seconds to go. Blitz sent in. That pass in double coverage is broken up. And now 3rd and 10. 2 in the backfield. Brees is going to go right to Reggie Bush, but he missed the pass. And that ball's tipped around and incomplete. 4th down and 10 with the game on the line. Brees, he's got it. Reggie Bush keeps it going, and this team has got one timeout to go, 24 seconds, clock running, and it's going to be Breeze. He's just going to burn the timeout now. You kind of lost a couple of seconds there, but 20 seconds to play from the 47-yard line. Breeze, he's got it caught, and it's at the 30-yard line, and not only that, it looks like there's a flag down, and it's on Washington. Are you kidding me? A face mask, and now they're going to be even closer. Why is this team trying so hard to choke it away? Breeze to the end zone. It's going to be out the back. He got another couple of shots at it. Breeze to throw again. Blitz sent in. He steps up and throws out the back again. 3rd down and 10. 8 seconds to play. End zone shot over the head of his receiver. 4th down and 10. Last try. It's knocked away at the line. And Washington steals it. And they are going to win it. And that is just like they tried so hard to give it away. As that face mask, I was ready to just hang it up after that one. Portis goes for 141 and 3 touchdowns, and that is 6 touchdowns in the last 2 games for Clinton Portis, and he is single-handedly helping us out just so much on offense. I mean, I don't think we have those 2 wins without him, but we are happy to have Clinton Portis still on this team, and we're going to hope he can continue this success and rack up more and more touchdowns and more big plays for this offense.
It's October, and college football is in full swing now. I'm Adam Schefter of NFL Network, and here's your NFL Draft Update. Junior CeCe Beacham of West Virginia continues to amaze college football fans and NFL scouts alike. He had back-to-back 200-yard games against Rutgers and UConn this month, which grabbed everyone's attention. I also wanted to let you know about a couple of outstanding offensive line prospects who have really upped their stock this past month. BYU's Sam Cumberland, Clint Daneman from Illinois, and Boston College's Brian Castleberry. Each one of these guys is putting themselves in prime position for All-American honors at the end of the year with their outstanding play.
So a couple offensive linemen, CeCe Beacham at running back. Not exactly the positions that we are in dire need of. I think right now this team could use some defense. And it's not going to get a lot easier for us as we go on the road to take on the Chargers, and we're going to be having to take on Phillip Rivers and LaDainian Tomlinson. We kick off the 4th quarter with LT to the edge, and LaDainian Tomlinson with a stiff arm touchdown. But don't get too excited if you're a Chargers fan. We got a flag down on the field, and this time it's not on us. It's going to be a holding, and it will back them up. A huge call. That would have been a chance for them to tie the game up with the extra point. Instead, it's 3rd down and 13, and Phillip Rivers has to go to the air as he'll float one to Antonio Gates for a short gain. That's not going to go anywhere as they're going to have to try the field goal, and the kick is good. But I will credit the defense here. You go Antonio Gates, Phillip Rivers, LaDainian Tomlinson. You only allow 10 points. Another kickoff deep. Santana Moss has it. Now let's see what Moss has for us. He had that big kick return already won this season. How about a broken tackle? And Moss right up the middle. Santana Moss, he's got the speed. And Santana Moss, are you kidding me? How does he keep doing it? Touchdown! Santana Moss has it, and he throws up. Did he throw up the U? I think he threw up the U. I love that. A little Miami representation there. 21-10 as Rivers has the football in an 11-point deficit. That touchdown that got taken off the board due to the holding on the last possession really coming back to bite them. We have an injury, so not good for us as LaDainian Tomlinson's going to get the first down, but the injury is going to be Chris Horton. He's dehydrated. Oh no. Get him some Gatorade. Get him some water. Get him some dehydrated. We can't have our players getting dehydrated out here as that's going to be a broken tackle and a touchdown. On one big pass play, the Chargers are right back in this game. And I mean, just so happens that our safety was dehydrated, and they go and line Antonio Gates up out wide and get a 39-yard touchdown right on that side that Chris Horton would have been on. Chris Horton, maybe not a spectacular player, but if he wasn't dehydrated, maybe we would have been able to stop him there. Play action now is Jared May following the big Clinton Portis run. Got it to Devazio Combs in 2 plays. They find themselves at the 24-yard line. May to throw. middle. That's caught. And inside the 10-yard line. Now it's going to be basically first and goal. Going to be hard for us to get a first down without the touchdown. As Portis, one move. He's going to get it down to the goal line. And there's a flag down, I think. But the penalties on San Diego, it's going to be a decline for us because they ruled that Portis got into the end zone. It was right at the goal line. It was close, but they gave it to him. And this fourth quarter has seen some points be put on the board now, as we are at 28-16, and the Chargers, with 4 minutes to play, needing to do something again. I don't know if they got another big Antonio Gates touchdown in them as Rivers to throw it. That's going to be caught and upended, but he's going to get past the 30-yard line. The offenses are flying in this quarter, as that's going to be up. Oh my goodness, he got just his legs taken out from underneath them, as they're going to be throwing hospital passes, but this one's going to work out. Touchdown, Chargers. And this has been a just fourth quarter of points left and right as Portis puts the football on the ground. You gotta be kidding me. How do we always give these teams an opportunity to make these comebacks and get back into the game? As Portis, he's been so good. I can't really be too mad at him because we're giving him the ball like 25 times a game. But come on, he can't fumble it. As LaDainian Tomlinson gets tackled for a 2-yard loss. Second down and 12. 2-minute warning has hit. As Rivers, clean pocket. Wide open, man. Not even anyone near him. He gets out of bounds as well to the 21-yard line. Rivers, a lot of time. This pass rush has been brutal this game. As that's going to be caught and a touchdown for the Chargers. It's Chris Chambers. And they are going to go for 2 for the 3-point lead. As LaDainian, he's going to try to spin. He breaks a tackle. Are you kidding me? LaDainian Tomlinson. One of the most spectacular 2-point conversions I've ever seen. And now, how about we turn to the special teams once more? Do we got any other big returns in us? Santana Moss, what do you got? He's going to go left. Moss makes a man miss. Santana Moss, he gets to the edge, and he's one of the fastest players in the league. Santana Moss, are you serious? He's taunting! Touchdown! Santana Moss! Once again, another kick return touchdown, and we got the lead, and he is putting the team on his back for this one. It's 35-31 with the extra point, and the defense, can you not allow another big play? Can you give us something? He threw it into triple coverage. It's knocked away. Minute 30 to go, 2nd and 10. The offensive line is just pancaking our guys, and there's eventually going to be Chris Chambers wide open. He's going to spin out, get 14 yards, and now with a minute 10 to play, Rivers open man. It's going to be Gates. He's brought down, and Gates to the 36 with under a minute to play. The defense, can you just please stop it? You've allowed so many points in this fourth quarter, as they're going to be getting another big game. This defense is just unraveling, and it's just so painful to watch. Oh my goodness, they're going to get another gain for 5 yards. They're going to give him 6, actually. 29 seconds to play at the 14-yard line. That ball, it's going to be caught. First and goal from the 6. Handoff. It's going to be Tomlinson. He's down at the 1. Defense, I'm begging you. LaDainian Tomlinson has 3 tries from the 1. He's going to get the football, go outside, upended. He's not going to get there. It's so close. How about another one? Tomlinson. He's not going to get there again. It's 4th down and goal. They're hurrying it back to the line. Tomlinson's 0 for 2, and if you want to say 0 for 3 with that first down carry, how about 4? He's going to get to the outside. Tomlinson trying to do whatever he can, but it's not going to get there. How about that? You allowed 24 points in the fourth quarter as a defense, but when it mattered the most, LaDainian Tomlinson, with a couple of yards to go, goes 0 for 4, and if you're a Chargers fan, you can't even blame them. You got LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the best touchdown converters in NFL history, and he couldn't get in. That was incredible, and a 55-point fourth quarter with Santana Moss returning 2 kicks for a touchdown. What in the world? We're 3-3 all of a sudden as we go ahead to our next game against the Atlanta Falcons, where it's a similar situation against the Chiefs. We were up 28-14. Chiefs came back, took it to overtime where we won it. How about this time around, though? 28-14. Can we shut the door on this one this time around? As it's going to be a throw. He's going to go down the field for Roddy White. And that's going to be at the 1-yard line. Roddy White trying to get this thing to a 1-score game. Toss outside. Michael Turner breaking a tackle and a touchdown. as they are going to make it a one-score game, and we're not going to go through this again, are we? Jared May going to have the check down underneath. That's Newberry, the number 4 wide receiver, is going to get himself 7 yards on a 3rd down and 3 as we go to handoff. Clinton Portis is going to make a move. Portis is going to get the 1st down, I think. They're going to give it to him. Okay, 2nd down and 10 as May over the middle. That's just a flat-out miss. And now 3rd down and 10. How about a surprise run for Clinton Portis, who's going to get a lane, and Clinton Portis breaks free! Clinton Portis! How about 57 yards? They weren't expecting a 3rd down run, and Portis goes 57 yards, and we got the 2-score lead. Now the Falcons need to go and get another touchdown on this one. But how about Michael Turner not trying to be outdone here with an 18-yard gain, as they're going to go back to Turner. It's a fumble, and that football's going to be scooped up by Washington, and we might be able to shut the door on this one this time around. No fluky comebacks, no ridiculous stuff, right? We go 3 and out, but we were able to run a little bit of clock off. Now there's going to be a flag down, I believe, and this one is going to be on us. Are you kidding me? A face mask. And I don't know if that face mask happened on the ball carrier, maybe somewhere else on the play, because it did not look like anyone grabbed the face mask here. But that's going to be a big play. Our safety tried to jump in. He tried to jump the football, and he missed it. And a 70-yard touchdown for the Falcons. Can we ever just close out a game? Can we ever just do it right? As Portis got to lean on him to try to close this game again. And Portis with a big run. Cleared Portis down the sidelines. And Portis for 30. As 2-minute warning has hit. Clinton has got another run to get us to 3rd down and 8. A 1st down can end this game potentially, as he's going to go to the edge. Portis, he's got the 1st down and more. Clinton Portis is going to almost fully lock this one up. It's going to have a little bit of a difference in the play clock, as we're going to slide down with about 50 seconds to play. No timeouts, and it's going to be a punt. So they are going to have just very little time here. 48 seconds from the 13-yard line. Every single chance this defense has gotten, they have let us down, and it's looking like maybe they could let us down again. But, I mean, there's 25 seconds to go, and they have no timeouts. Just bring them down in bounds a couple of times, and don't let this happen. A big play for Harry Douglas to the 31-yard line. There's 18 seconds to go. Literally, all you have to do is just tackle him in bounds like one more time, and this game could be over. 12 seconds to play. They're taking their sweet time, but they're lining things up. 8 seconds, 7, 6, 5 seconds to play. He's gonna load up, throw a middle. It's caught. Broken tackle, make it 2. Touchdown. Are you kidding me again? How do we keep doing this? The defense this is the worst defense I've ever seen in my life. We're going to overtime again. I don't know if Santana Moss has another miracle kick return in him, but we're going to get the coin toss. We're going to win it, and we're just going to pray. Somehow, some way, we are here on a 3-game win streak with maybe like the worst defense of all time, but we are going to get the football to start overtime. Remember, once again, sudden death. Even a field goal here will win the game. We're going to ride Clinton Portis, who's had a monster day, and that's going to be a 1st down. And how about a little bit more on top of that with a flag for Atlanta? Face mask for them. We'll take that. That puts us at the 33-yard line. That's like right around field goal range. Made to throw it. He's going to have an open man underneath. And this team, we could be able to put this one away with a Chris Cooley 1st down. How about to the edge we go, Portis. It's going to be another nice run. Clinton Portis. He's got the 1st down and more. Portis inside the 10 to the 7. And can we end it with a touchdown here? Portis is in. Touchdown. Clinton Portis puts it away. And I don't know how, but we're on a 4-game win streak. We started 0-3, and here we are at 4-3, 2 overtime victories, and a whole bunch of madness. Jared May stinks it up once again. 3 more interceptions, 11 of 28 passing. We had no business winning, but we won because Clinton Portis runs for 219 yards and 3 touchdowns. Even Deuce McAllister got in there, ran the football pretty well. But Clinton Portis, I don't know where we'd be without him, but we are so glad to have him running the way he is running this season.
Adam Schefter back again with the very latest from the college football world. All the buzz is surrounding 2 bitter rivals in border states, Texas and Oklahoma. Both teams have a defensive tackle that really stood out in terms of showing NFL potential this past month in their big rivalry game. Those guys are Corey Thacker of Texas and Tommy Braswell of Oklahoma. Both guys made it very difficult for each other's quarterback to do anything on offense, and both running games were held in check as well. The game was a 6-3 field goal fest. Who wants to see that? But it was highlighted by the play of these two defensive tackles.
So after pulling ourselves out of the depths of despair at 0-3, we find ourselves on a win streak at the midway point in the season. Big game against the New York Giants after we did some of the draft story stuff. But I mean, can we get the win here and maybe be on track for a playoff appearance when we sink back down to 500? May is going to throw up the play action, and that's just going to be a flat-out drop. Santana Moss got to hang on to that one as 3rd down and 14. That one's going to be caught, but short of the marker. So Eli takes over, down by 3, and that's a sack. All right, 3rd down and 8. Manning play action off his back foot. That's going to be caught, and it's a broken tackle, and he barely gets wrapped up to the 43-yard line as now they go counter run. Brandon Jacobs, one of the hardest backs to bring down on first contact. He gets the 1st down again in 11 as Eli to throw it. Blitz sent in, and that's another sack as the blitz is actually getting in there, getting home. Another blitz sent in. That ball should have been picked. It's going to be incomplete. They punt the football away. And speaking of blitzes, they shoot the gap and tackles before we can even get the handoff going. As now 3rd down and 14. Ball swatted at the line. We go 3 and out. Eli in good field position to start his drive. As over the middle in one play, they're basically in field goal range. Could tie this game up as with under 5 to go. Eli, he's drifting right, but throws it back left and cut the 1st down inside the red zone. As they will throw again, and that ball's going to be caught again. That was Mario Manningham getting it, and it's going to be 3rd down and 2. Brandon Jacobs, he's going to break a tackle, and it's going to take 2 men to bring him down as 1st and goal from the 7. Eli intercepted in the end zone. It's Mike Vrabel dropping in coverage, and Vrabel gets us the football back in a huge spot. As we go run the football, it's going to be counter left, but Portis goes right, and he's going to find himself a couple of yards. Now we go on 3rd down and 6. May, middle, that ball's dropped. I think the rain is really impacting us right now, and they are going to not be serious with this one. They want us to go for it, but there's just no way we can do that. I know they're not going to like to hear that, but we need to punt this football away. And for once, the defense isn't playing atrociously. They're going to have great field position. I don't know. Our punter is not really doing a good job right now. Jacobs with the stiff arm, and he's going to get another 8-yard gain. Jacobs is just so difficult to bring down as Eli to throw it. He's going to go Brandon Jacobs out wide, and he's going to make the grab. As now 2nd down and 10. And that's probably the strategy there. Got to get him in the legs, take out his base, because he'll run through you if you go shoulder on shoulder, as that's going to be incomplete. That should have been picked off, but they'll settle for a field goal try as Lawrence Tynes will kick it through the upright for a tie game with just a minute to play. Could we be heading to overtime again? It's gonna be incomplete. That should have been a pick 6. It looked like May on 3rd down and 8. He'll throw one. That's gonna be an acrobatic grab, and it's gonna be short of the marker, 4th and inches. And I think, it didn't work against the Saints, I believe, a couple of weeks ago. But quarterback sneak here, 4th and inches. If that throw was better, that would have been a 1st down. We wouldn't even be having this issue. But with a minute to play, we're going to go with the QB sneak here. As we got an open lane. He's got the 1st down. And he fumbles the football. And the Giants pick it up. Come on. He fumbled the football. He caught it. And now the Giants set up with a minute to play in great field position. Eli to throw it. Got a lot of time in the pocket. That's going to be caught. And into field goal range they go. Jacobs, he's going to go right up the middle. And Brandon Jacobs has a leg, breaking a tackle and all the way to the end zone. Touchdown. Maybe not a bad decision to just let him score to give our offense a chance. We get a 1st down to start our drive. 38 seconds to play. Play action as May. He's going to throw back left side. That should have been maybe intercepted. 2 men fighting for the football. No one ends up with it. And May gets sacked. Now 3rd and 15. 30 seconds to play. May, it's short. And that's going to be caught. But there is seemingly a flag. It's on the Giants. A bailout there Is it going to be a face mask? No, it's going to be pass interference, so it's going to help us out a lot. 20 seconds to go. Second down and 11. That's going to be caught to Fazio. Combs breaking a tackle, and Combs down inside the 40. We're out of timeouts here. 17 seconds to go. That ball incomplete. Went to Newberry. Couldn't get it. 14 seconds to go. We got everybody on the left side. Got to throw it up top. It's tipped and dropped, and it's not going to happen. 9 seconds to play as he's going to load up and try to throw one deep. But you got to get the throw off. He just takes the sack. I don't know what you're waiting for. It's going to be game over. I don't know what he was waiting for. Everyone was basically at the end zone. Just throw the ball up. And then on the previous play, we did drop it off a couple of tips, but, I mean, even then, I think it might have been better that he dropped it because it looked like he wasn't going to get to the end zone. Probably would have been tackled in bounds. We would have ran out of time. May doesn't throw any picks, but doesn't throw any touchdowns either. Clinton Portis not as big of a day as he's had in previous weeks, but still got into the end zone once again. Defense finally played a competent game and didn't allow a bunch of points, but just not able to get the job done. We set up 4-4. We failed a couple of goals there. You see, now we're at 79 approval. But 4-4 on the season as we take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's 17-10. Buccaneers with the football, and a screen setup is not going to go anywhere. We'll settle for the field goal kick on the way, and a 2-score lead for the Buccaneers. So right when we are, on a 4-game win streak, we take a loss. They're 4-4 on the season, and now threatening to go down to a below 500 record again. Portis breaking 2 tackles in an 8-yard game. Their play action. May over the middle. That's intercepted! And not only is it a pick, he stepped in front, and he's taking it back all the way. Touchdown! And that, I think that was Derek Brooks with the pick 6. As it is going to be a situation here where they want us to bench Jared May. So, I'm going to be so honest with you. I don't think benching Jared May is going to do anything, but at the same time, I don't want to make anybody angry here. So what I'm going to do, I know this one may be a little cheesy, but I want to keep my job here. We're going to say, like, yeah, we're benching him, but no, we're not really benching him. We're going to go down with the ship here. At the very least, we're going to have May try to get as much experience as possible because who knows, he still might be the future quarterback of this team, even though he's playing like absolute garbage as he's going to complete a pass to DeFazio Combs. I mean, you don't expect a day 2 draft pick quarterback to come out here and all of a sudden be a superstar, but you'd like to see him turn the football over a little bit less. He's racking things up on this drive, though. Clinton Portis up the middle. He's going to go and get down at the 3-yard line. 3rd down and goal. May is going to have it tipped around an incomplete 4th down and goal. Cooley should have had that one, but try it again, and Chris Cooley's got the touchdown. All right, well, nice play. You pulled yourself back into it. We're going to go for 2 here. A bold little decision here to get it to a 9-point game. We're doing that for a very specific reason because if they go and score a touchdown now, it stays a 2-score game. If they score a touchdown, it becomes a 16-point game, which keeps it technically 2 scores. It'd be 2 touchdowns, 2-point conversions, rather than them having the 17-point lead with a touchdown. So, a little math going on there, but we tried to do the best that we could to try to give ourselves a chance to win this game. And with them wanting to kick an onside kick, I'll hold to it this time. There's 5 minutes to go, and to be completely honest, I mean, how am I supposed to trust this defense? This defense can't do anything. Like, I feel like every time we end out a game, I mean, aside from the Giants game last week, it seems like, you look up and there's about to be 30 points on the scoreboard at any moment. And this is in, late 2000s. This ain't even in today's NFL where scoring is up. But I mean, if you're a defense allowing like 30 points a game in the 2000s, you got to be an all-time garbage defense. So they're going to get a stop in the backfield there. 3rd down and 12. Handoff right up the middle. He's going to get stopped. So not going to get a field goal there. We're going to have to punt it away. They weren't going to try like a 58-yarder. May is going to throw. Open man. DeFazio Combs has it. And that's an 18-yard gain. So maybe there is a chance here as May is going to throw. Middle. Intercepted. Safety threw right at him. And now, I mean, yeah. I don't know if we're going to come out on top of this one. So it's going to be another handoff here. We're going to get another stop, but, I mean, it doesn't even matter if we keep getting stops because we got to score eventually if we're going to have a chance at this one. And that one could have been intercepted. I think he's just colorblind or something. I don't know what he's doing. He throws another interception. And this one, another pick six. And that is going to be a two-score lead still. So that's why I went for two when I did, to try to make it a possibility to make a comeback in this one. Kickoff is deep. It's Santana Moss. Can he work a little magic for us? Moss is going to juke. He's going to get to the edge. Santana Moss turning it upfield. He's past the 30. And he is gone. Touchdown again on the kick return. And somehow, someway, we aren't done yet, but we need this two-point conversion to have a chance to cut it down to a one-score game. And this one, May just didn't get the ball off. It's a delay of game. Are you kidding me? As now May will throw. It's just short. He hit our receiver in like his ankle. How do you miss that throw? It's a 10-point game. We have to kick it onside. This one's, I mean, I don't even think they asked me to do it. I just did it because we have to do it. 2:20 to play, though. And the onside kick, will we recover one of these ever? Looks like it's going to be a no, as Tampa Bay will have it. And they are close to putting this one away, even though so many other players on this team are trying their best. But how can you overcome two pick sixes? I mean, literally, if we just didn't do that, we didn't throw those, we'd be fine. We'd be in this game. Buccaneers are going to tack on a field goal, so I guess still not impossible to come back. We have all of our timeouts, as that's going to be a throw caught. I mean, he's just throwing dangerous passes left and right, as May underneath the receiver wasn't ready for it. Fourth down, we QB sneaking, and look, it finally worked. I just wanted to call that one for a little confidence booster because we're basically 0-2 on it this season. May, he's going to throw one up top for Santana Moss. It's caught. Moss inside the 10, and we're not done yet. It's still somehow a game. May, end zone. It's incomplete. He couldn't hang on. 30 seconds to go. Third down and goal. May, back of the end zone, incomplete. Fourth down and goal. And will we finally be over with here? May caught, but it's going to be short. Finally, the game is over. We were trying so hard to come back in this one, but I mean, how can you overcome 5 interceptions, 2 pick sixes? You just can't. You just can't. And if you take those pick sixes off the board, we would potentially have won this game. I do think the sad part is also, I mean, this is better QB play than we got last year. Like, that's the crazy part. I mean, QB play last year was disastrous. And, you know, back at it again. We faced the Giants not too long ago, and we're facing them all over again. So we'll see if we'll be able to get through that. We had our bye week already, so, I mean, we're just going to hope. We haven't done too well in our division either. I mean, we've lost to Eagles, we've lost to the Cowboys, we've lost to the Giants, so I'm going to hope we can at least get something on the board. And we need this win badly if we're going to have a chance to do anything. I mean, we're still not too far out. I mean, 2 games back in the division. Giants, we hop in. We're in New York. It's 31-25, as we're not looking to lose to the Giants again in a very short span, as the kick is going to be on its way. It is good after a stop. That's going to make it a 9-point game. There's 7.5 minutes to go, and Jared May, I need you to please do something good, as he's going to kind of complete a pass. That's Antoine Randall. Broken tackle on the first down, as at the 49-yard line, they go handoff. Clinton Portis to the edge. He's got one man in the open field. He breaks the tackle, but, you know, it slowed him up enough for the defenders to get there. Third down and 7. He's going to test one, and DeFazio combs in one-on-one coverage, hangs on to that one, as now they go stretch outside Portis. He's going to get a nice little run of 4, set up for down and 6, as May is going to throw right at the safety. Do you understand that safeties can move forward? Jared, please understand. Field goal to make it a one-score game is no good. Come on. Even when we do something right, We couldn't even hit the field goal as Brandon Jacobs just punching a defender in the face. And Brandon Jacobs, are you hearing that? Outran by Brandon Jacobs as he gets to the 32-yard line. Eli sacked. I mean, at least the pressure got in there. 2nd and 14 with 5 to play. Eli, open man, that's caught. And they are going to get it down to the 11-yard line as Eli dropping back. Open man, Brandon Jacobs receiving touchdown. And we are back on the special team side of things. How about a kick return? Santana Moss, you got something more left in you. As Moss, he's not going to do it again, is he? Santana Moss, he's going to get past midfield. I think the defender had the angle, just didn't want to take a hit, I guess. But we'll take a kick return to midfield. And then Jared May missing a wide open receiver. 3rd down and 10 as May has time in the pocket. Offensive line's doing a great job, but he's just going to float a wobbler up in the air. It's incomplete. And we're going to have to go for it here, down by 16, as May is going to check it down short. I mean, even though Clinton Portis is breaking a tackle, you can't throw a check down on 4th and 10. What are we doing? It's the most, like, Derek Carr moment. That was a Kirk Cousins moment right there. I can't be having my quarterback do that, as I'm going to get the football back after a 3-and-out, but with just 3 minutes to go, needed 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions. I don't know if I trust this guy anymore, as he is just going to float one in double coverage. It's incomplete. I can't even fault him too much, because at the same time, if our defense didn't allow 40 points, maybe we wouldn't have to be doing some of these crazy things. It's not all on Jared May, but the defense has to do better. The offense has to do better. Everything has to be better right now as May is getting sacked. 2nd and inches turns to 3rd down and 3 as he will throw and get sacked again. 4th down and 5, passing. And the game is going to continue a little bit longer, but there's a flag down. It's on the Giants at least, so we still have a little bit of life as long as we can put this ball in the end zone, get a 2-point conversion, and maybe get an onside kick. Made a drop back and throw it. He's going to go. End zone intercepted. And that will be game. May throws for almost 400 yards, but under 50%, 2 picks. I mean, it's just like a situation where I don't even know how much of this is on Jared May. I mean, Antoine Randall puts up 200 yards. It's pretty impressive. Like, May is objectively being put in situations that are just not advantageous to him. Because the way this is kind of structured is I am controlling the offensive play calls and everything. I am the offensive guru, I guess. I don't know how much of a guru I can be with this quarterback play, though. But the defense, I, delegate to my defensive coordinator because I am the offensive-minded guy. The defense, though, stinks. The offense, it's not awful. Like we are putting up points. It's just we're allowing so many more as we start the 4th quarter off. First play of the 4th quarter, we were set up at the 1-yard line. Clinton Portis punches it in for a touchdown. So, hey, I mean, we could be on the board here. Could we have a divisional victory? I think we still are. I think we're like 0-4 in our division right now. It's 30-16, though. We are up. We're going to have hopes of doing anything this season. It is a must-win game as Cobb to throw it. It's going to be intercepted. That's going to be Mike Vrabel again. Mike Vrabel, he's turned into quite the coverage player in his older age as he's going to get us the football back, and we're going to go hand it off. Clinton Portis gets a block, and Portis is going to have 10 yards and set up 3rd down and 1 as Portis is not going to get there. I'm fine with that. I will set up for a field goal from about 51, 52 yards out. It is going to be up, and it is good. Huge kick there. So we take a 3-score lead, and I mean, we've already had a situation this year where we've blown, 2 14-point leads this season to go to overtime where we somehow still pulled out the victory. I would hope we don't blow a 17-point lead as they're going to have a first down there. It is also pouring rain out right now. It is brutal here. It feels like every game we're playing at home is just a rain game. I don't know what's going on with the weather, but under 4 minutes to play, we're at least making them take their time. Cobb over the middle is going to have a first down. It's goal to go from the 8-yard line, but just 3 minutes to play. It's getting sacked, and that is going to back them up to 3rd down and 15. Goal to go, and Cobb is going to throw back left side. It's going to be caught for a gain of 10, but no touchdown there. 4th down and goal. This is your game on the line, and they're going to keep it alive a little bit longer. Touchdown, and now the onside kick as we are going to scoop that one up And now with a 10-point lead, 2.5 minutes to play, just gotta get the job done. I mean, this game, it should be over. Portis breaking a tackle. Clinton Portis. He's going to get past the 30-yard line. And a first down there. Can we get another one to wrap this thing up? Portis, first down. And he's going to go down to the 1. So he does just what he needs to do to get down to the 1-yard line, run out the clock. May actually played a pretty decent game. Over 50% completion. You know, didn't throw a bunch of interceptions. Portis, 2 more touchdowns. How about Santana Moss with a 250-yard game? I mean, we do have some very good receiving production too. And I also wanted to show you guys at this point in the season, Clinton Portis, I mean, how about the season he is having? He is currently 4th in the NFL in rushing yards, but also number 1 in touchdowns. 17 touchdowns on the season for Clinton Portis. What a year for him. And I mean, where would we be without him? I mean, if there's one thing I'm doing as an offensive mind, I guess, it's we're able to run the football a little bit. We are, though, still 3 games back in the division, and our division is just so stacked. I mean, 8 wins, 7 wins, 7 wins. I mean, at 5 and 6, yeah, we're not doing great, but I mean, look at this. We have the 2nd most points allowed, but you could see the team with the most points allowed is the Raiders. And you might be thinking, well, how are they 9 and 3? Well, they put up 100 more points than anybody. And keep in mind, what I am about to show you is a team that is 11 games into the season. You might be asking, what the heck are the Raiders doing? 11 games into the year. Luke Rambis, the rookie quarterback, has 5,000 yards and 45 touchdowns in 11 games. What is going on here? What is this offense? He's got 3 5-touchdown games. He's thrown 3 touchdowns in all but 1 game. He has a 500-yard performance. His lowest performance is a 300-yarder. He's throwing the ball 63%. They don't run the ball. Darren McFadden has 83 carries in 11 games, and no other running back has more than 1 carry. But how about Darren McFadden with 1,400 receiving yards? Who is the offensive mind? Who is the offensive mastermind here in Oakland that is orchestrating this? Now, unfortunately for us, after climbing back to 1 game out from 500, we have our first, what looks to be a potential blowout of the video. You know, at least in every other game, we've had a slight chance of coming back. It's been 2 scores, but, you know, now down 35-10, we make it 35-16. But it's going to be quickly gone to 38-16, and I just think there's no real point in showing this one, as it's going to drop us to what seems to be 5 and 7 on the season. And if we're going to have any hope of doing anything the rest of this year, we are going to need to at least win 3 games, but probably need to win out. I mean, especially with how strong this division is. May didn't even have an atrocious game. I mean, 1 touchdown, 1 pick again, 300 yards, but couldn't run the football. Cowboys are really good. DeFazio Combs with 156 through the air. So again, like, it seems like we always have a receiver going like 100 yards, and we do get a lot of yards. I mean, maybe some of it is garbage time yards though, but still, we'll take that as we go to another session of scouting.
Adam Schefter of NFL Network here with the latest and greatest from the world of college football. The big headline over the past month is how this national title race is shaping up. The Florida Gators have moved into the catbird seat at 10-1 and a berth in the SEC championship game. Led by monster left tackle Travion Davis and safety Brandon Bellamy, Florida looks like it's headed for big things. Some other guys that have really stood out are Boise State signal caller Brett Cardinal, Oklahoma State's pass rusher extraordinaire Geno Stripling, and super sophomore Flash Rains from FSU. The early rumor on the street is that Rains is definitely going to declare early for the draft.
Got some cool players that they were talking about. Also, Flash Rains, got to be a top-tier name there. But we are in the 4th quarter of a game where we are up by 14, which has been a real death spot for us. I mean, being up 14 should be pretty happy. You should be pretty happy with that going into the 4th quarter, but every single time we've had that, we've blown it. So we need to essentially win out if we're going to have a chance of making the playoffs. Winning out here would make us go 9 and 7. But look at Clinton Portis. He's going to try to help us get there. Portis with another broken tackle. And down to the 1. Made a throw it. Maybe we should have let Clinton Portis seal the deal there. But that's going to be a touchdown through the air. 31-10. Well, yeah, like I said, with how stacked our division is, you aren't making the playoffs at 8 and 8. 9 and 7 even is a little dodgy to know if we'll make the playoffs. But if we win out, go 9 and 7, I'd be happy with that. And it's looking like we're going to get the win here. How about an interception and taking it the other way? It's a pick six, and we're up 38-10 over this Detroit Lions team, as we will just kind of, sim the rest of it. And there's not really much to go crazy about. The quarterback is Josh Betts, so I mean, maybe we shouldn't have been worried, but there you go. It took us facing Josh Betts to have a good defensive performance, top to bottom. So we'll take that at least, and Jared May doesn't have to, do too much. I mean, again, it's not a bad performance. A couple games in a row where he's not played bad. Clinton Portis goes for a 143 and a touchdown, and I think we might be sending Clinton Portis straight to the Pro Bowl and maybe having a career year. I mean, a career year for Clinton Portis is a pretty dang good year, so we'll take that. Abby Amiri with the sack. Rocky McIntosh was the one with the pick six. So 6-7. If we win out, we could be headed to the playoffs, maybe. It's a long shot, but taking on the Denver Broncos up next, we are looking for a lot of secondary members, looking for a lot of stuff that we need on this team. I mean, when I think about what this team does need on defense, you more so have to start with what don't we need. So even with how good, this division, I just don't know if playoffs are going to happen. Look at how stacked our division is. The Cowboys, Eagles, and Giants are all 8 and 9 wins. So even if we win out, we would still need some help to get into the playoffs, because this ain't like real life right now where there's 7 teams that make the playoffs. This is only 6. In current day NFL, every team in a division can make the playoffs. Not back here where there's only 6 teams. One team, no matter how good you are, if you come last in your division, you can't make the playoffs. Back in, the 2000s, 2010s, you just can't do that. So here against the Broncos, it's 14-13. This is essentially, do or die for us if we're going to have a chance to make the playoffs here. So we're going to hand this football off Clinton Portis. We're going to ride him to success here. I hope I haven't also jinxed anything. I said Jared May's been having a couple of decent performances in a row. He's gone a full, I think, month almost without throwing double picks in a game. I mean, it's just been, it's actually been a positive touchdown interception ratio the last month. So we're going to hope it continues, and he can help us get this victory, because we're down by just 1 point. Throw over the middle. That's going to be incomplete. And now 2nd down and 10. That's going to be a handoff. Clinton Portis spins off a defender, and Portis make it 2. And Clinton Portis, my goodness, he's so good. As we hand off to Mike Sellers for the first down to convert that 1-yard situation. May to throw it. He's got time. He's got a man. And that's going to be cut for DeFazio Combs, who's turning it upfield, and Combs for a massive gain. As now 2nd down and 8. May to throw. He's going to just throw it short of a receiver who is wide open for a 1st down. But we'll hand it to Clinton Portis on 3rd down and 8. And Portis, he's not going to get it. It's 4th and inches. And honestly, Jared May, I don't trust him on the QB sneak. You know how teams in real life nowadays, with today's NFL, they'll go and line up their tight end or line up a fullback or something at QB and do a sneak. I think Dallas Goedert's done it, and I think Mark Andrews does it. We're going to do that, but we're just going to throw Deuce McAllister in there so we can actually get a guy who knows how to run the football, as Deuce McAllister has the 1st down on the sneak. So I'm just going to try to do what we can to hold on to this football as Portis. He's going to make him dive at his ankles and miss, and Portis is going to get another 5 yards. 3rd down and 2. How about handing it off to the fullback, Mike Sellers, for another 1st down conversion? And Sellers down to the 6. Can we get this into the end zone? It's going to be a stop in the backfield. And that's going to be a big bailout, though, as a flag is down, and that is going to be a face mask. So we will take that football at the 4-yard line. Not a big gain, but it resets the downs for us as Portis makes a juke move, and we'll lose yards there. So back to 3rd and goal at the 8. Going to run the football again. I trust Portis. He breaks 1 tackle, but not 2. And honestly, we were also just trying to bleed the clock out as much as possible here. Obviously, we're not going for the touchdown. I don't care what the owner or whoever wants it. We need to kick the field goal. There is a minute 22. No timeouts for Denver. Short field goal is through the uprights. We turn to the defense.
Here we go, guys.
Oh boy. Let's go defense. Do you have One big play in you. You got a turnover. You got something. He's going to throw for a first down. He breaks the tackle, and he does have it. 55 seconds to go. Cutler, he fakes the spike, and Cutler is going to go outside. That's caught, and that's going to be in bounds. They're going to have to go back to the line, hurry it up. 40 seconds to play. Cutler, he's taking a lot of time, and that's going to be a false start, it looks like. They just did too many adjustments, too much movement there. Now it's second down and 6. 41 seconds to play. Cutler to throw it. That's caught. And he is going to get stopped shy. Third down and inches. 25 seconds to play. Cutler is going to have it caught. And that's going to be in bounds. So he's going to have to run it back to the line. They're in field goal range, it looks like. So maybe you spike the ball, kick the field goal here. But Cutler, they're not going to do that. They're going to line up and maybe take one more shot at things. Get a little bit closer. Cutler on the run. Oh, he caught that football. You can't catch that. What a mistake. And I don't know if they're going to have enough time to get back to the line. I think Cutler was just trying to dirt that football and get it away, but he couldn't do it. Cutler's going to have to throw the football here, and it's caught again. Who is this guy on Denver? Who is that receiver at Denver? 2 straight plays. Cutler looked like he tried to maybe dirt the football, throw it at his feet so you don't get like any sort of intentional grounding or something. And the receiver both times comes back, runs up and tries to catch the football, and he does. He got tackled in bounds, and it costed them the game. So Washington, we're at 7-7. We're not out of it yet. We just need a little bit more help. And we have 2 interceptions from Fred Smoot. We take on the previously mentioned Raiders team. So, yeah, this is not going to be fun. Yeah, that quarterback that has like 5,000 yards and 45 touchdowns in 11 games, he's going to be facing him now. So what it's looking like, though, I don't know if we're going to be able to do this. I think we actually still might be eliminated here. Eagles and Cowboys both have 9 wins. We did split with the Eagles, but I would imagine they still hold a tiebreaker on us for divisional record. If I had to guess, that's probably how it would work. Even if not, I guess maybe we could try to figure out something where like maybe the Eagles lose out, Vikings win out, we win out, maybe Vikings somehow jump the Eagles, we jump the Vikings. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like if I had to take a guess, even if we went out, we're making the playoffs, but we can only control what we can control. So let's try to get the job done here. I guess to no surprise, the Raiders against this defense have put up the points. It's 35-20, and they have the football to start the 4th quarter. So things are looking really dire for this Washington team. That ball is going to be incomplete. 3rd down and 10. But it's looking like we're going to need a miracle if we want to make the playoffs here. How about a little speed option? Speed option in 2010? What's going on here? 7 minutes to play. We get the football back, and it's going to be caught for what looks to be a first down. No, they say 3rd and inches. We're going to have to convert here, and they shoot the gap. Portis breaks the tackle, but he can't break 2. It's going to be 4th down. Obviously, we got to go for it here, just off the sheer fact that also I cannot give this Raiders team the football. They got like the greatest offense of all time with the greatest quarterback of all time, and he's just a rookie. So we're going to go right up the middle. Clinton Portis, he's got the first down with ease, and Portis is going to get us to the 37-yard line. We are going to go play action, as is going to be a rollout, throw it deep, and that is going to be knocked away. Now with 6 minutes to go, it's 2nd down and 10. And May, middle, caught. Chris Cooley's got it, and he is going to find himself a nice gain there. Past midfield, as we will go play action and go to Cooley again. And Chris Cooley's got it. So we're driving. Need a touchdown here to cut this down to a 1-score game. As May moving. Nice pocket mobility there. Okay, that was a nice play from May. He stepped up, he moved left, he avoided the rush, and delivered an accurate pass. It's one of the better plays you'll see from May this season. And he gets the 2-point conversion as well. That is massive. It's a 1-score game. And they want us to kick the onside kick. The thing is, I don't even know if there is a right decision here. I don't trust this defense against this offense, but at the same time, maybe it would just be best to go kick the ball deep and give ourselves a chance here. I mean, I have a little bit more cushion on the approval. It's 92 approval. It's obviously going to go down because we didn't choose what they wanted to choose, but we are going to at least just try, see if we can force a turnover or something. They get a first down there. as now with under 5 to play. That's going to be caught, and a first down and more. Broken tackle, and he's going to get caught inside the 30, and that big play is going to set them up in scoring range. It's looking like our hopes and dreams could be slipping away as they're going to get a play to the 10-yard line, gain of 19. Rambis to throw it. He's got time. He's got a man, and it's going to be caught down to the 2-yard line, handed off, and that is going to be a touchdown. Two-score game, and once again, we see another team go by the 40-point mark. Do we have another kick return touchdown in us? Santana Moss got one more to pat onto what's sure to be an all-pro season when it comes to returning the football. Moss is going to go left, and he's got room. Santana Moss is going to do it one more time. Santana Moss all the way. Touchdown, and we are not done yet. 35-42. Rambis, he gets sacked. And in our quest to get to 9-7 to close out the season strong, they're going to go speed option. And what the heck was that? He got it to an offensive lineman. What the heck? He pitched it to a lineman or something who went the other way. Who is this? What in the Ben Johnson am I looking at? Maybe this is why they got like the greatest offense ever. They just flipped it to like Penei Sewell. That's something the Lions, or I guess the Bears now, are going to bust out next season. They're going to flip it to like Darnell Wright or something and see what happens. Maybe Joe Tooney's going to touch the football this season for the Bears, as they're going to go with the football back in our possession. Throw it outside. That's going to be caught. And it's going to be 4th down and 4. Game on the line here, potentially, as time is running out. He's throwing it deep, and it's caught! Santana Moss! And we're not over yet. Portis, handoff, breaking a tackle, fighting through, falling forward. He got a Portis again, upended. And now it's going to be 3rd down, but it's looking like we got a flag down, and that's going to be holding. We're going to be set back 2nd and 12, so now, May, it's going to be up to you to do it through the air. And he's going to throw a pick!
This ain't over yet, guys.
And
remember,
that might be our last. That might be it for us. I think that might be it. Unless we can get a stop here. 2nd down and 8. Handoff. It's going to be a broken tackle. He's going to go and move ahead to get right at the marker. 3rd down in inches. And this is our last stand, our final chance, handing it off. He's going to be mad, but he got the 1st down. And this team, try as they may, it's all over. And Jared May, try as he may, 5 interceptions to close out. We fall to 7 and 8, so our playoff hopes officially end. Santana Moss goes for 230 yards in the day, and that big clutch catch, the last shot we had on that drive. I mean, he put us down there, opportunity to tie it up. So for the final game of the season, we're not playing for anything, so I'm just going to sim through it and hope we can, get to 500. And look at that, Mike Vrabel with an interception. We got the lead, and for once also, our defense is not allowing a lot of points, but I think it's too little too late for that. I mean, could have used some of these performances beforehand. We could have used some of these literally at any other point in the season. As with under 2 minutes to go, Carolina trying to run out the clock. I mean, we are just trying to run this football out, burn the time, try to get out of here with a win. Gonna slam it up the middle again, make them burn their time, make them burn their timeouts. Field goal is no good, so we're gonna hope the defense can do it. And to wrap up the season, 8 seconds, it's gonna be a victory. So we climb out of a 0-3 hole, then climb out of another hole, and somehow find ourselves going 8-8 on the season. So technically, I mean, I promised that I'd finish below 500, and well, I didn't finish below 500, I guess, but a couple of other things broke different ways. We could have been going to the playoffs, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen. We checked the final season statistics. Jared May, oh boy. To be so dead serious, though, this is better than what we got last season. This is still better, but not good. I mean, I don't know what we were expecting, though. I mean, again, you got to remember this is a different time. Quarterbacks back then just threw more interceptions, and we're not as scheme flexible. Teams weren't as offensively smart. A lot of mistakes happened at quarterback, and Also, this wasn't a premium top-of-the-line first-round pick, but look at Clinton Portis, man. 1,300 yards, 20 touchdowns. Santana Moss goes for 1,200 yards, but just 2 touchdowns. DeFazio Combs and Antoine Randall just a hair under 1,000 yards. But, you know, really interesting to go and have a 1,200-yard receiving season and only get 2 touchdowns. I mean, you can look at the overall production of what this offense did, and it's not bad. Like, I really think with what we were working with, we did some pretty good stuff. Look at this dude, though. Damian McIntosh, when he ever played, he was like the worst tackle ever. But on defense, we need a lot of help. London Fletcher had a really nice season. How about 18 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, over 100 tackles. Sacks, though, didn't get anybody in the double digits. Leading sacks was 6, so brutal there. Fred Smoot, Mike Vrabel, 5 picks. You know, interesting career development for Mike Vrabel, being a more coverage-oriented player. Braylon Beaudreau got 2 picks. Laurent Landry got 2 picks. So we were able to snag some interceptions. Calvin Pace also, you know, 9 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, and 12 deflections. Interesting season from him. London Fletcher with 4 forced fumbles. So we were able to make some big plays. We had a lot of forced fumbles, a lot of fumble recoveries, a lot of interceptions, but we didn't pressure the quarterback the best. We didn't get a lot of sacks, a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns. It's got to be better. Missed tackles, Mike Vrabel, got to do better at that. 16 missed tackles, are you kidding me? Can't be doing that. Big hits, look at London Fletcher, big hitter. But, you know, catches allowed. Fred Smoot, he got interceptions, but he also, you know, was allowing a lot of stuff to be caught right on top of his head. 400 yards allowed, a couple of touchdowns allowed, but we need to do better as a team defensively. I really think, even though we did just hire this defensive coordinator, I think he needs to go. He was awful. Like, it was so bad. Santana Moss, what a season returning. And I mean, yeah, obviously going to make a Pro Bowl there doing that. So, I mean, I can't even tell, actually. Moss probably made the Pro Bowl as a return man, but, I mean, maybe a 1,200-yard season made it as a receiver as well. So, I don't know, man. This team did a lot of things well. Clinton Portis was obviously incredible, but there was also a lot of things that could have been better for this team. One thing that does make my heart a little bit happy, though, is Clinton Portis hitting that 10,000-yard mark in real life. Portis is like, I think Portis right now, because obviously he's never going to play again, is the closest running back to 10,000 yards without actually having it. He's like 9,900, but, you know, in this universe, he goes and has a big season. Doesn't have like a 1,600 yard year like he had in Denver, but still 20 touchdowns, career high, 92 career touchdowns, and his career has turned out, I guess, a lot better than it did in even real life, which he already had a great career, but he's basically gone over 1,000 yards every healthy year that he has had in his career. Santana Moss as well. He hit 10,000 yards in real life, and, you know, we're well on the way to getting there as he's at back-to-back 1,200-yard seasons. So you can see, like, when I took over, I mean, Santana Moss was coming off back-to-back 800-yard seasons. Under my coaching, he's on back-to-back 1,200-yard seasons. So that's been good. And you could see Luke Rambis. Are you kidding me? 6,500 yards and 58 touchdowns for a rookie quarterback. What in the world am I looking at? This is the greatest QB season of all time. Interceptions. I mean, Jared Bay, look at that. He didn't have the most. Joe Flacco threw 31 picks. So you can see interceptions are just higher, a lot higher. 20 interceptions is tolerable in some aspects, but also look at this, man. It's not even like it was off sheer volume too. Like, he threw more than anybody, but also look at, he had the highest yards per attempt. Like, it's not like he just got it because he just threw the ball more than anybody. He also threw the ball more efficiently than anybody. No one got more yards throwing the football than Luke Rambis, and no one threw the ball more than Luke Rambis. So, my goodness, it's just the greatest quarterback season of all time. May also got sacked 40 times. That's not good. But, I mean, again, quarterback was still better than last year. I think we maybe just need to see what our options are. Portis comes 5th in yards, 1st in touchdowns, and he came 5th in yards and 1st in touchdowns while being, 6th, 7th in carries. So, I mean, really great season for him. And Chris Johnson also putting the ball in the ground 6 times. That's fortunate for him, but Portis, in every metric you're looking at, just was arguably the best running back in the league last year. Like, that's huge. Most 20-plus yard runs, most touchdowns, high volume, high production. Like, we genuinely might have just put out like the best running back in the league. Him and Marshawn Lynch, you know, some of these other guys there. Maybe the yards per carry is a little bit higher for some of these other players, but 4.2 at this point in time is better. Now, if you want to go maybe at best running back overall, you could say like Reggie Bush, or a guy we'll get to right now in Darren McFadden, because you can see how many yards he had at 11 games into the season. Well, he finished with 1,900 yards and 21 touchdowns through the air. So, you know, in terms of running backs just purely running the football, maybe Clinton Portis was the best, but overall not so much. It's just such a crazy offense. Tony Gonzalez, what the heck is that? 27 drops, Tony? That's very un-Tony Gonzalez-like to be dropping 21 passes or 27 passes in a season. So you could say I do love the in-depth stat tracking in this game. Way more stats that they have: run block success, pass blocking success, targets, yards you got on certain plays, QB pressures, a lot of much more deep stat tracking. This is the type of stuff I want them to bring to like Madden and college football. I want to see targets. I want to see, you know, things like how many yards he got inside, outside. I want to see how many blocks defeated. I want to see how many hurries. I want to see missed tackles. I want to see catches allowed. I want to like actually catches allowed, because how they do it in the game right now is just not accurate. And like it's just never accurate, because you'll see a guy allow like 30 catches and that'll just like lead the league. And it's like, no way the cornerback who gave up the most catches in the entire NFL in a whole season gave up 30 catches. This is not true. But London Fletcher ends up with the most hardest hitting linebacker. Yeah, but like you can see here is catches allowed, where I mean 70, 60s, that's more accurate. Like Sam Madison allowing 61 catches because he was thrown at 124 times. Allowing 1,000 yards is also crazy. Like, this is the type of stat tracking I want. See a dude allow 70 catches for 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. Get him off the team immediately. So when you go to the Pro Bowl, we can see what we have for Pro Bowlers. Clinton Portis, #1 running back in the NFC. So, I mean, that's a big plus. So Santana Moss didn't make it as a receiver. He definitely made it as a return man, though. We also see that Chris Samuels made the Pro Bowl at tackle, so really nice to see there. Guard, we did not have anybody else, but we got an offensive lineman, we got a running back, we got London Fletcher, who was awesome this year, and we also see LaRon Landry making the Pro Bowl. He was good too this season. So overall, we get a cumulative 5 Pro Bowlers, because you'll see return man here. Santana Moss made it. So 5 Pro Bowlers, 2 on offense, 2 on defense, 1 on special teams, and to no surprise, Luke Rambis probably runs away with MVP, and Darren McFadden, you know, also was up there. But my goodness, like, that's just ridiculous. I cannot get over that season. Jared May, I mean, I guess he got 3rd in Offensive Rookie of the Year, but I think that's just more because he played. But man, we got a lot to figure out, but this is where we start to really get into the fun part. I'll show you the overall team stats, because I do think it's important for us to know what we were able to do cumulatively as a team. And that is to say also that we had offensively 4th in points per game. That's really good. So you go top 5 in points per game, a top 10 overall yardage offense. We go with what seems to be top 10 in passing, and we were just about top 10 in rushing. So, I mean, by every metric, we also had the most rushing touchdowns in the league. By every metric, we were a top 5 to 10 offense in the league, and for a person that is priding ourselves on being an offensive guru, we did our job. I don't know what these numbers are. I can assure you that the Giants did not allow 9,000 passing yards on the season. So I don't know what that's all about, but whatever metric this is, it wasn't good. I know our defense wasn't good. I'm not even going to take these seriously. I don't know what the heck where they're getting those numbers from, but we can take these ones a little bit more seriously. Interceptions, we were nowhere near the bottom. Fumbles recovered, we were near the top. Sacks, though, we could be a little bit better. Yeah, we were like kind of middle of the pack, maybe a little lower than that. But, you know, 30 total turnovers forced. But whatever metric this is, we allowed the 3rd most yards and 2nd most points. Like, the defense was objectively the issue. That just needs to get better. Conversions, 3rd down conversion is crucial. We were bottom 5. I mean, there was just a lot of plays where Jared May was stinking it up in key situations. Now, we did convert the most 4th downs, but also went for it the most. But we converted at a pretty solid rate, you know, relative to the rest of the league. Turnover differential, despite us forcing 30 turnovers, we were -1 because we turned it over 31 times because we threw a lot of interceptions. We were up there in total takeaways, but we also had tied for the most giveaways. That's where we got to get better. But that's also like, there's not much I can do about that. I mean, my quarterback's just out here throwing stupid passes. Every other team in our division went 10 wins or better, so that's fun. You know, even if we went 9-7, we would have missed the playoffs. We were the highest team to miss the playoffs. We were the best record, I guess, or the highest ranked team. We were 12th. 12 teams make the playoffs. Even though we were 12th, we didn't make the playoffs. So that's going to be, you know, brutal to stomach. But we get into the fun part. The fun part is always the offseason in this game. They want us to stay. We will be staying, of course, and we get into all the fun stuff. So, you know, comparing this series to, say, like a San Jose State where, you know, it's like an hour and a half and like an hour plus of it is spent in the game, while the off seasons are very short. They're very, I don't want to say meaningless, but very much formulaic and kind of done for you by the time you get there, especially with the recruiting. This game is very much a lot to be done off the field. So one of the goals that we had this season was to hire a new GM. I mean, our GM isn't even awful. They just want us to hire a new one. I think for offensive coordinator, even though Butch over here doesn't have high performance, I mean, the offense was really good. He develops running backs on offensive line. Well, what was good this year? The running backs in the offensive line. So I think he did his job. So we're going to be upgrading everybody, even the people we're going to, you know, fire, just because we want to be fair to them to let them get jobs. But, you know, we're trying to help quarterbacks. I want these guys to be able to be proficient when it comes to quarterbacks. But yeah, you could see Ricky Hundley. I mean, one performance, he's not good. He's just really not good. We're 100% for sure firing him, but we'll at least spend his points. So maybe he can be a positional coach somewhere else. I genuinely do love this game, though, for how in-depth the skill trees are. You know, physical development, mental development, certain attributes, play calling, performance, all these other stuff. It's just so awesome. But yeah, performance, very important because you want your players to perform. We have good development here with Ramsdale at the QB coach spot. Stump Mitchell at running back coach. I mean, obviously did an amazing job, and he's like a maxed out coach. We'll see if we can keep him. You know, typically when a coach hits kind of like that 99 overall or 90 plus overall section, they will try to leave to be like an offensive coordinator. So we're going to hope nobody leaves us to become an offensive coordinator. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, Stump Mitchell tried to go be a coordinator somewhere else. Juan Castillo, I mean, even though the offensive line was pretty solid in some areas, I don't think this is a coach we need to hang on to. Like, it's okay, but I think we can do better. And also just in general, you know, like a lot of coaches, when they come in, they want to wipe the staff clean and bring in their own guys. And while I have wiped a good portion of the staff, I haven't gotten rid of everybody. So Jerry Gray, the thing with him is he's a 99 overall and he's really good and all, but like the defensive backs were like the worst performing things on our team. So I don't know what you make of that, because you got to go down to performance or how good the coach is, and probably a lot of that is down to the personnel. But so we finished everything there, and like I said, they want us to hire a new GM, which I'm indifferent about our GM. Our GM isn't bad, but I mean, if it's for the goal, then yeah, we'll do that. They also want us to hire a coach. So Riley Smythe, I mean, again, he's not awful. He's just not great, I guess. So I literally probably, if it were down to me and I didn't have that goal, I probably would just keep him and keep on developing, but they want me to change, so we'll change. Butch, I mean, yeah, we were 10th, 11th. I mean, the lowest thing we were was 11th. Ricky Huntley, though, he's got to go. I mean, you can see how far down we were in all the rankings. Ramsdale, solid coach, just we need Jared May to play better. And then at running back coach, Stump Mitchell, I mean, arguably had like the best pure runner of the football on our team last year, so to no surprise, he's going to quit and maybe go try to either go be a running back coach on a better team or go and make a run as an offensive coordinator. But that's very valid. I mean, with what we were able to do on the ground this year, it makes sense. We're going to fire our offensive line coach, linebacker coach. They want us to keep very middle of the pack, so I mean, I think we can let them go maybe, but we'll keep them. I mean, that was like maybe the best thing we had on defense. Tim Spangler, I was going back and forth on him. I kind of took a second look, thought it was maybe worth it. Jerry Gray, 99 overall, yes, but we will fire him. And that's going to be maybe a bit more of a controversial one. We've just fired a 99 overall coach. But I mean, I want a bit more in terms, I want different skills. It's not necessarily about the overall. I want different skills, and we'll see if we can find that. That's a risk we take. Bob Corsetti is the top GM prospect, I guess, or top GM candidate. So he's interested in going to the Bills. If we want to get him on the team, we're going to need to give up some stuff. When you want the top candidates, you're going to need to give up a little bit of power, and that's kind of part of this, where either you want to go for maybe a yes man at GM who just kind of shuts up and does what you want, or you give him a little bit of power. So we're going to try to give him a few things. I want a good GM, obviously. It's really important. And they want me to cut Chris Samuels. I prefer not to just straight up cut our Pro Bowl left tackle. Release our right tackle, McIntosh. I'm fine with that. I mean, he was really bad this year, so that's 8%. We've tied it up. 8% isn't a lot to make up, so it's possible. And then, philosophies, I prefer not to also, mess with that. But I'll let him control some of the scouting stuff, and that will be enough to get ourselves a new GM. So to take a look at what he has to offer for us, he is a good one. We got ourselves a good GM. He has basically a maxed out ceiling on everything with a special skill of Major School Insider. So that basically eliminates the regular season scouting when it comes to trying to figure out big prospects, because we'll have them all at 100% already. Defensive coordinator now. I think I'll pass on Morvin Lewis, probably. He doesn't want to come here anyway, and the only way he would is if we cut London Fletcher. I'd prefer not to cut a Pro Bowl linebacker. So then we have Bob Sardisco, who has some level 5 attributes to him, and he wants to come here. -7 interest in the Dolphins. Yeah, he wants to be here, and we will see what our new defensive coordinator has to offer. And how about that? 5 out of 5 on the performance, and he develops defensive backs, which is what we need. Now, he's pretty useless when it comes to developing defensive line and linebackers, but he develops defensive backs, and we need defensive back help horrendously bad. So that is perfect. And in terms of skills, defensive back stuff. So I like that, and he's a 5 out of 5 when it comes to play calling and stuff. He is going to be running the defense, play calling for the defense, so that's going to be huge for us. Running back coach, it's going to be hard for us to get anybody that's going to be as good as Stump Mitchell, and when it comes to a guy like James Saxton, we would have to basically give him everything, so we're not going to get the top running back coach on the market. Then we go to Bishop Harris, who does look pretty nice, level 5s across the board, but similar problem here, where the Patriots, he's got good interest in them, and we basically have to give up everything to get him. And, those philosophies, it may not seem like a lot, they're really important. Like that, having your philosophy locked basically determines, if he wants to be a power back team, well, all of a sudden Clinton Portis doesn't fit our team anymore, and his overall goes down. If all of a sudden he doesn't want a guy like Clinton Portis, then we'd be forced to move on from him because he doesn't fit our team anymore. So that philosophy stuff is really important, and being able to change that whenever you get the chance to, it's big. I'm not as invested in maybe the fullback one. I'm fine giving him fullback philosophy, but I need to keep running back. Roster minimum I'm fine with giving up, but we've already kind of lost out on all the top guys. So we're going to get George Henshaw, which not ideal. He's not good. He's a better developer, but we don't really need development for Clinton Portis. He's already good. We just need him to perform. So not thrilled by that running back coach hire. Offensive line coach, not really going to fight the Eagles for that one. Doesn't really interest me that much to fight for them. Dan Tunney, learning is not great. Intangibles is nice. Physical's okay. Just to take a peek at him, he wants to come here. I'm not thrilled by this one, though, so we're going to kind of test the waters a little bit. It does go in order from the best overall, but just because they're the best overall doesn't mean they have the highest potential. You can see Pete Burks, lower overall, but higher potential. So I think this is more in line with what we're looking for, level 4s and 5s across the board. Level 4 on the performance and level 4 on development. So much better. Probably the type of guy you're looking for to be here for the future. For positional coaches, it doesn't matter that much when it comes to stuff like play calling. You know, he's not going to be calling plays for us. Now, the top DB coach, not going to be able to snag that one. I don't want to fight the Chiefs there, and the top DB coach being a 49 overall is a little worrying, so we're going to hope we can get a little bit better there. But yeah, I'm even though we need DB coach, I'm not going to fight for that one. But do you know who I will fight for? How about one of my favorite coaches in the entire league? Todd Bowles is here as a defensive back coach, and he wants to come back to Washington. Todd Bowles used to play for Washington as a safety, and to get him as our DB coach is awesome, and to no surprise, he's an incredible DB coach. So, Stump Mitchell, curious, he becomes a QB coach. That's a interesting decision. But Ricky Huntley goes to be a linebacker coach for the Browns. So, yeah, just wasn't cut out to be a coordinator, I guess. So, interesting there, but I'm hyped for the coaching hires that we got, honestly, for the defensive side of the football. I wanted to prioritize developing our defensive backs, and we were able to do that. So Todd Bowles and a DC that is able to develop defensive backs. We just need to get some guys on the roster that we can develop. I love Todd Bowles so much, though. Like, in real life, Todd Bowles is, like, one of my favorite defensive minds. Like, I just love the way Todd Bowles does things. When it comes to my personal coach, though, we will be using our points for the QB stuff. I'm just trying to make sure we can make QBs play as efficiently as possible. So we're going to do the QB readiness, passing discipline, all that stuff. If we want to get to that final spot, we're going to need to up the receiver stuff, which we want to do. But, you know, that's kind of what I'm aiming for. And then to kind of put a bow on this season, we'll take a peek at what the teams in the playoffs did. Colts over Patriots, Packers over Eagles, Giants over Bucks, and Titans over Raiders. Raiders in that offense held to 7 points. That's kind of disappointing. But in the Super Bowl, Giants made it, but they go down to the Colts. We have $34 million in cap, and still with more room. Like, keep in mind, this is a long time ago. $30 million in cap is a lot. Clinton Portis, if we wanted to cut him, we'd free up about $8 million. Obviously, even though he's like the highest paid player on the team right now, I don't have intentions of cutting him. Mike Sellers, though, I'll free up, you know, $1.5 million cutting our fullback. We can do that. Antoine Randall, for as solid as he is, I'd prefer not to have him, but this contract that Washington gave him in real life is just uncuttable right now, so we're kind of stuck with him for another year at the very least. But it's a really good receiving core, so I mean, worst case scenario, we got a good 1-2-3 punch. Chris Samuels, coming off a Pro Bowl season, is movable. I don't know what I want to do there. Offensive line's a really unique situation because our best offensive linemen are old. Also, Pete Kendall, dude, this contract is brutal. I need him to retire. I need him to retire now. I don't know why they gave that contract out in real life. It's so bad. But same thing with Randy Thomas. He's not ideal to move, but movable. And our two best offensive linemen are old and only getting maybe worse in terms of regression. We can cut Erasmus James, get $3.5 million there. We'll do that. So, you know, the cap situation looking a lot better for us, but we do have a lot of holes to try to plug up. London Fletcher, we could cut him to save like $1 million, but made a Pro Bowl last year. We're not going to cut London Fletcher. We got a lot of expiring contracts. We've pushed ourselves over like $40 million in cap space. Even though Fred Smoot had a nice year, he's 30. I'd like to move on, but like also we kind of need cornerback help badly. So we're not really going to mess with that. Franchise tag. The only major player that we'd be missing out on is Mike Vrabel. So I'm fine letting everybody else walk. Nobody here is like a must keep. Even Mike Vrabel's not a must keep, but for $6 million, and, you know, it's a very low-risk contract because it's the franchise tag. I can basically get rid of him whenever I want. We will tag Mike Vrabel for now. I am looking to potentially trade Vrabel and maybe see if we can get something out of that. But worst-case scenario, we keep Vrabel for another season, who had a nice year last year. So we're fine with that. Now we go to the, you know, another fun part, which is the scouting. We get to go to the All-Star game. This is the big one where you get to unlock some key attributes about some players. Whereas when you get to the combine's all about like personality traits, which isn't as important. Personality traits matter, but they're not as important as finding out like, you know, these running backs, for example, we get to learn like their juke move, their spin move, their actual attributes. So I'll show you the All-Star ones. I won't really show you the combine ones since, you know, maybe you don't care as much about the personality traits. Those will come into play, you know, later on with like contract negotiations and maybe if he wants to like demand a trade or stuff, but not stuff that matters urgently. So we'll kind of look at that for running backs. Receivers, we don't need any receivers. We have our 3 even though I'd like to move off of Antoine Randall, we're stuck with him. So, I mean, when it comes to receivers, the best we would be looking for is a number 4 or maybe like a number 2 tight end. Like that stuff isn't really going to change. I still want to get eyes on some of the top receivers because, I mean, I just love looking at some of these guys and, you know, maybe somebody falls. If an opportunity presents itself, I will take the opportunity. Although we should probably be focusing our draft picks on defense. If the opportunity presents itself, you got to take it. So offensive line, like I said, offensive line's in a very unique spot. I don't know what I'm going to do with this offensive line because Chris Samuels and Randy Thomas are so old. The offensive line wasn't amazing last year. It was nice, but not amazing. It could be better. I think that this team, I don't want to force myself into taking needs. You know, we need defense. We need linebackers. We need defensive linemen. We need secondary. We need everything. But I'm not going to reach for need. And also, like I said, we don't have a first-round pick this year. I do plan on making a selection in the first round. I will trade up for a first-round pick this year because we do have 2 seconds and we do have some other capital. But I'm not going to force defensive needs. I'm going to try to see what holes we can fill in free agency. And I'm going to also see what we can do when it comes to just racking up as many good value players. I'm just trying to get good players on this team, even if it is on offense. So going to look at these cornerbacks, obviously. While we do need a safety, we need cornerbacks even more. Braylon Beaudreau by himself, I took Braylon Beaudreau knowing that he wasn't going to be like a superstar number 1. He was going to be a complimentary piece for the secondary, but we need a number 1 corner. We need a guy. We need someone who can lock up number 1s.
I'm Adam Schefter of NFL Network, and here's your Senior Classic update. The college season is finally over, and the Florida Gators are the new national champions. Now it's time to start focusing on the NFL Draft. The top seniors from around the country met this week at the Senior All-Star Game, and a few players really stood out in practices. Defensive tackle Lester Berg from Michigan really dominated in individual drills on Thursday. His brute strength and huge frame have been on display all week. He has been impossible to block. Dontrell MacArthur from Auburn has also looked really good. He was knocking players' heads off in practice and then had that huge hit on Teddy Knox in the All-Star Game that knocked him out of the contest. That's all for now, folks. I'll see you at the NFL Combine. Thanks for watching NFL Network.
That's good for us to hear. A good safety who's laying people out. I mean, we already got LaRon Landry who can get another hard hitter. How about the quarterbacks, though? I mean, I haven't even spoke about quarterbacks, but, like, do we need to get a quarterback, too? How about Clarence Bowman, though? Really fast, and they got ball speed in this game. 70 miles an hour. Are you kidding me? Clarence Bowman is nuts. Compared to Vince Young, too. Were you trying to make me, you know, send my entire franchise to go and trade up for this guy? I don't think we're going to be able to get up there, but it's kind of disappointing how I haven't even been able to talk about quarterback because we have so many other needs. I mean, Jared May wasn't good, but, like, we could definitely do worse, and, I mean, we probably owe him another chance with a full year of development and an offseason under his belt and all that stuff, so I mean, again, if a situation or an opportunity pops up, we'll make a move, but, like, I'm not forcing it. Look at this dude, 5'2" at tight end, you're 6'4". How did you even get here? How did he even get to this point? This isn't even a fullback at that point. I mean, that dude is slow as heck, but yeah, there's just so much we need. We're going to take a look at the free agency preview here. So this is going to be the open market of the guys that are going to be available. Quarterback situation, I mean, unless we want to go for Donovan McNabb, it's not going to look really great for us. Receiver, we don't need any, but hey, Ocho Cinco is going to be there for somebody. Tight end, we don't need a tight end, but there's a lot of good ones available. Line, we don't not need line, but we also don't need line that badly. Don't know if we're really going to attack anything there. We need a right tackle. That's about it. Marshall Yanda is a restricted free agent, so we'd have to give up a draft pick if we want to get him. The ends, not great. A lot of older players. Jason Taylor, the best one. I don't want to pay a 35-year-old Jason Taylor. Defensive tackle. We need a defensive tackle badly. Linebacker, we have Rabel and London Fletcher. Like I said, I'm looking to move Rabel. We do need another linebacker spot, though. Thomas Howard, a really interesting player, potentially. And desperately, we need cornerbacks. Well, it's not a great corner class. Chris Gamble, Charles Woodson are two of the guys available. Those are the top two corners on the open market. Chris Horton, we need a safety, and Horton's the second best one. He's the guy we just let go of.
I'm Adam Schefter of NFL Network, and here's your NFL Combine update. The buzz this week has been about quarterback Clarence Bowman from Troy. He ran a blazing 4.45 40-yard dash and then went over to the Ball Speed Machine and threw the football a ridiculous 70 miles an hour. His stock is soaring right now. A few guys really hurt themselves by deciding not to run. Running back Travell Harris and Corey McCants from UCLA. Both guys wanted to wait and run at their pro days. A big mistake, in my opinion. Another guy whose stock has been helped this week is wide receiver Delbert Conroy from Oregon. He had a bit of a bad rep coming into the Combine, but after the interviews, everybody loves Delbert. That's all from the Combine. I'm Adam Schefter of NFL Network, signing off from Indianapolis.
Todd McShay here with a mock draft of the first round. A lot can still happen between now and April, but this is how the first few picks are shaping up at this point. Travian Davis, the Orlando Pace clone from Florida, is my highest rated player in this class. He's joined by West Virginia's version of Barry Sanders in CeCe Beacham and the big hitter out of Oregon State in Marcel Rayford. Keep an eye on defensive tackle prospects Tyler Krogstad from Rutgers and Doxy from Miami of Florida. They will be popular names the next few weeks. And if you're looking for a player that's going to be overdrafted, how about Geno Stripling from Oklahoma State? Got off to a fast start, was really fizzled down the stretch. I'll be back later with more on the draft.
A lot of info to tackle there, but we got to celebrate a little bit. Pete Kendall, he retired. We're free from that contract, finally. My goodness, we were needing that one badly. So we go into free agency. We have roughly $40 million to work with. We already gave out that little, franchise tag to Vrabel, so we were at about 46 million. We're gonna throw Randy Thomas on the trade block just to kind of field some offers. Same thing with Chris Samuels. I know he made a Pro Bowl, but I'm not opposed to trading him. Vrabel, I said I'm looking to maybe do that tag and trade stuff. Fred Smoot, if anybody wants him, I would be interested in trading him immediately. Nobody wants him right now, but we're not looking to move Portis right now. We're not looking to move LaRon Landry, Moss, obviously. But yeah, Chris Samuels, he's 33. I know he's coming off a Pro Bowl, but that's kind of like 33 years old. You sell high on a player like him. So you can kind of see where this mock draft is situating. Like I said, no first round pick, but 2 second round picks. I'm going to trade up into the first round to see where we kind of have a player fall to us or something like that. We do have the 35th pick, though. The other second round pick we got turned out to be a really good one. So, they talked about Travian Davis being the top-rated player, CeCe Beacham. We're not really looking at CeCe Beacham. Defensive tackle looks like a really strong draft. Maybe we'll get one there. It's a really strong trenches draft. So we're going to be looking to see what we can do on the trenches, especially since we need defensive line badly. Now, Ochocinco, I'm not going to make an offer for Chad Ochocinco. We don't need him, as cool as it would be to have him. He is luckily not going to a division rival. He's going to go and rot away in Cleveland, so good for him. Good for Ochocinco. He's going to get $8 million a year, so we're not going to have to worry about him. Thomas Howard, though, one of the top players on the market. He's looking for about 5 years, $31 million for a team in us that really needs a linebacker, like a legit guy, because Vrabel's old. When Fletcher's old, Vrabel we're looking to move. We don't have anybody on that right side. He's 26 years old. And, well, I think if we're going to go and make a big splash in free agency, Thomas Howard of the Raiders is going to be where we go. He's coming off a Pro Bowl season. So, he wanted 5 years, about $31 million. We gave him 5 years, $32 million. That's going to be the first big signing to help overhaul this defense a little bit. So, we're going to give him a more so, I would like to give him the incentivized contract. I prefer to players have incentives than just to hand them the signing bonus off the bat. But I also am fine giving him some bonus because I don't plan to get rid of him. Off this 5-year contract. So we're going to see what that is going to do for our defense to have him, Vrabel, London Fletcher could potentially be the linebacker trio that we have going into the season. Jason Taylor is, we're not going to get him. I don't want to pay for Jason Taylor, but sadly he'll be going to Philly. So we'll have to deal with him in the division. Adrian Wilson, as cool as it would be to have Adrian Wilson, a 30-year-old safety on a 5-year contract is so rough. If this were like a 2-year deal, I think I would have considered it and moved LaRon Landry over to free safety. LaRon Landry has enough athleticism to play free safety. I would have considered this. But 5-year deal, that would take him till he's 35 years old. I just can't rationalize paying him that much, that old into his career. Like I said, it was a weak cornerback market. Chris Gamble is the second best corner on the open market, and while 82 overall is less than ideal, it's not an expensive contract, and it's better than what we have. So we're going to go and sign Chris Gamble. I like Chris Gamble, so happy with that. But, you know, we'd prefer to have a little bit more of a star player out there at cornerback, but just wasn't a good market for these guys. So I'd prefer to give him a little bit lower on the bonus. I don't know if he'll play out the full 4 years on this contract because he's just more of a short-term fix for a bit more of a long-term issue that we have at this cornerback spot, but we'll see what he's able to do for us. And the other cornerback that was high up on the board, this is the best overall corner on the open market. How about Charles Woodson? I know he's 33 years old. He's washed, but still better than what we have, and it's a 1-year contract. So how about we bring in a washed-up Charles Woodson on a 1-year deal at 33 years old. He is very much a band-aid over like a gunshot wound, basically, because he is maybe not as good as he once was, but I mean, it's better than having who we had out there. So Charles Woodson, Braylon Beaudreau, Chris Gamble, that is definitely an improvement from Braylon Beaudreau, Fred Smoot, and whoever else had our number 3 corner spot. It was Carlos Rogers that we had. So now we get into the pro days. Now for pro days, I'm not going to show you who I select for all of them because that'll take forever, but you know, for the big time schools, you get 25 pro day visits. You get to visit a whole bunch of different players. You get to learn about basically everything about them other than their potential. But we did have an interesting little thing here. How about our 56 overall second-year defensive tackle? We got a trade offer for him, and not only that, we're getting offered a 4th-round pick. And if you're wondering, why is a team offering you a 4th-round pick for a 56 overall? Well, this goes back to the philosophies of the players. Rashad Johnson just doesn't fit our scheme. He's a 56 overall to us, but to the Jets, he might be a lot better. He probably is a way better. So they were willing to part ways with a 4th-round pick. And also, defensive tackles in this game, they are treated like edge rushers in real life, like current day NFL. Like, they are the ones getting these big contracts. Defensive tackles are massive in this game. We went and attended Clarence Bowman's pro day at Troy. We went and attended Florida, the national champions pro day. Notre Dame's got 7 players, so we're going to go and attend that one. When you see 7 players, we're looking to go there. But I think we have to make a big trade here. So Thaddeus Cheeks of the Bears is an 88 overall young player. He maybe is ready to break out and be his own, you know, true number 1 defensive tackle, which kind of makes me interested in who the Bears have right above him. In 89 overall, Tommy Harris. Now, Bears fans, you could talk about Tommy Harris a little bit. He was a really good player in his time. Maybe not superstar, but he was a Pro Bowl, really, really high caliber player, and I would be happy to try to make a move for him. Rocky McIntosh and 2 4th-round picks, I would more than be willing to part ways with 2 4th-round picks and our number 2 linebacker to go and grab Tommy Harris. We did just get a 4th-round pick for the Rashad Johnson trade. So, you know, well, I'm happy to part ways with a 4th-round pick. We're kind of looking for the best package. We're going to start low with a 4th and a 5th. They aren't into that, but the counteroffer is McIntosh and 2 4ths next year. I am happy to give that up. Maybe we would prefer to give up a 4th round this year and a 4th round next year, but 2 4ths next year, we do have that. Tommy Harris, 89 overall defensive tackle. I mean, this feels like too good of a trade to pass up, and especially with some of the other offers on the table. I mean, some of these other offers are like 1st-round picks, but yeah, Tommy Harris, welcome to Washington. We needed a defensive tackle. We needed to make a big move. We did that. The Bears have Thaddeus Cheeks, who they drafted last year, who is blossoming into a star defensive tackle. So they're looking to move on to their newer, younger star, and Tommy Harris is still 26 years old, and to me, I'm looking at this trade and saying, man, in reality, I feel like I only gave up a 4th-round pick for this, because the 4th-round pick that we got from Rashad Johnson was basically a freebie, and then Rocky McIntosh was a player I was considering cutting anyway. So Rocky McIntosh, Rashad Johnson, just throwing a 4th-round pick on top of that, and look what we have done to help this defense out. Thomas Howard, Tommy Harris, Thomas Howard's coming off a season in which he had 5 sacks, 2 picks, 119 tackles, 90 overall outside linebacker. We also brought in 2 cornerbacks. We still have $22 million roughly in cap space. Remember, we need to hold on to some of that money to sign our rookies. We have to negotiate with rookie contracts, so we got to put some of that money aside. We can go look at Oregon's pro day, some of these other players. We need a kicker. Our kicking situation was a little rough last year at times. And how about you go and get a powerful boot in Sebastian Janikowski. So that's going to be our new kicker for the season. We're happy with that. And I think we're working this offseason pretty effectively. We came in trying to overhaul this defense. And at all 3 levels, we have brought in players. We brought in Tommy Harris on the D-line, Thomas Howard on the linebackers, and then Charles Woodson and Chris Gamble for the DBs. Still think we need more, but we are at the point now where we do individual workouts. We are going to get 10 individual workouts. The individual workouts for us will reveal the player's potential and the potential that they have in our scheme. So every player's potential in the different schemes is different. If I had Clarence Bowman, for example, in pocket passer, his potential might be like 82. But if I had my archetype and philosophy on, dual threats, it might be like 92. That's just to say what their potential and the best that they can possibly be in your scheme is going to be. So in looking at quarterbacks, I mean, I don't think we're going to have a chance to get someone like Bowman. Bowman's the only guy that I would move to get. I don't think we're going to be able to get up that high to get him, which kind of feels like we're going to be rocking next season with Jared May. I would like a number 2 running back because Portis, coming off a season that he had a great year, 300 carries, he's hitting that age at running back. He's going to be 29 years old, and running backs fall off a cliff at 29. Travion Davis looks to be unbelievable, but he is like the best player in the class. He's going to go like top 5. He's compared to Orlando Pace. We're not going to have a chance at him. And even though we need a tackle, more so a right tackle, but we need a tackle, I don't think we can scout one of these, top guys. Sam Cumberland is a player who we were mocked to get in the 2nd round. Interesting. So I do think offensive line is a need. It's just maybe not the number 1 need right now. We just absolutely need to get a right tackle. Brian Castleberry was another player who's brought up for the draft stories as like one of those nice underrated players. It was also Cumberland was brought up as well as a nice guard prospect. But right tackle is the position we need the most. And looking at some of these guys, I mean, Corey Conway and Clint Daneman is the 2 top ones here. They're not overall like top 10 prospects in the draft. These are guys that are more so later 1st round prospects, kind of the area that we're looking at. So I think if we're going to look at somebody 75 learning, he's got some nice stuff to him. Corey Conway is going to be the first of our individual workouts that we'll look at. I want to spend a lot of them though on defense because that is what we need. And when you look at the top left end, well, that intrigues me a lot. Jovan Kearse, 92 finesse moves, 86 speed. He doesn't fit the scheme greatly. This isn't the type of end that we would normally go for, but he just looks so dang talented. How can you not be interested? So Greg Brewer, I want to take a peek at. Individual workout number 3, again, sticking on the defense is where we're going to use most of them. We still need another defensive tackle. We need another defensive lineman probably. And I mean, this isn't a good DN class. This is a great D tackle class. It's not a good DN class. I like the Kyle Vanden Bosch comp there. That's interesting, but I guess I would be looking more so for defensive tackle. Lester Berg was a player talked about multiple times, and 87 power moves with good strength, good block shed. I mean, Lester Berg looks awesome, and he isn't like a top tier player, number 1 type of defensive tackle, but he looks like he could be maybe the best one here. I mean, I don't have a good profile on Corey Thacker, who was also talked about in the draft stories, but I mean, Lester Berg, I mean, imagine we end up with him and Tommy Harris. What an overhaul that would be for our D tackle room. So I think I'll use one there. While we did sign Thomas Howard, Vrabel being old, London Fletcher being old, we are going to need some sort of plan at linebacker beyond them. I am very sure that this could be the last season that one of them or both of them play for this team, whether it's because of retirement, regression, or whatever. It's a really nice linebacker class. Mike Lundberg is, you know, tag teaming with his other teammate at USF to be two of the top linebacker prospects in the country. I don't know if we're going to get a shot at him. Seems like he'll go a little high. Michael Poe, really interesting player. He's abysmal in coverage, but he's got decent athleticism, good block shed. He can hit. He can rush the quarterback. He's a good learner. He just can't cover to save his life. But a pure run stopper who also has outside linebacker flexibility to maybe even play a little edge rush. I mean, that is a really interesting player. He's 23 years old too. You know, a lot of players in this game too will be old. You'll see some 25, 26-year-old guys in here. So it is pretty big to go and get some of these 22, 23-year-old guys as well.
I'm Adam Schefter of NFL Network, back with another NFL draft update. One of the most popular pro days to attend this year had to be in Tampa at the University of South Florida. Two middle linebackers down there are really making some noise. John Rollerson and Mike Lumberg. Lumberg impressed all the scouts with his maturity and leadership qualities. Rollerson was a standout in the drills and looked very comfortable dropping back into coverage. A good number of scouts headed out west for the very popular Oregon Ducks Pro Day. Once again, the talk of the town was Delbert Conroy. This time he put on a dazzling array of one-handed catches and diving grabs that has his stock yet again going up, up, up. Teammate Dan Bolander was also a guy who the scouts were talking about as a possible first-day selection guy now after not a very average regular season. Well, that's about it from Pro Days. I'll be back later for a recap of the individual workouts. Signing off, Adam Schefter, NFL Network.
Man, Delbert Conroy sounds awesome. Like, genuinely, if I needed a receiver, I'd be all over that. But we got to be responsible team builders here. We don't need a receiver. I am doing what I would probably do in real life and be responsible, even though this is a video game. Looking at linebackers again, Marcus Danzer is a really interesting athlete who's got block shed, pursuit, not great in coverage, but not horrendous like a Michael Poe. He's got good speed. One of his pluses is upside. I'm interested, and Keith Bulluck being a comp is something that also entices me as well. Keith Bulluck was a really nice player for the Titans, so he looks like he has some ways to go, but I am interested enough to go and look at that for the potential there. Then we get to the defensive backs, where we need a player badly. We need a safety, we need a corner. Safety, it looks like a pretty rough class. Brendan Bellamy was talked about, national champion Florida team. He is looking like probably the best safety, 85 zone coverage. I don't know anything about that other dude who's got like 6% scouted. I don't know if he's even that good, but Bellamy looks like the best safety on the board at free safety. And I mean, yeah, we're going to need that. We're going to take a peek at him. And then looking at safety again, we don't know anything about that Richmond dude. Anthony Purvis is intriguing as well. Tom Dixon. But yeah, Purvis is the one I'm kind of eyeing right now. Pass coverage, range, speed. That fits us. We have our archetype as our center field safety. We need rangy coverage safeties. So, on to workout number 8. We have 3 left. We already went out there, looked at maybe the 2 best safeties. Tyrod Darlin, I mean, man, if we had a chance at him, he's comped to Champ Bailey. I'd like Washington to have another Champ Bailey one day. Flash Reigns looked awesome. I don't think we're going to be high enough to get those guys. Watts is all zone coverage. Alan Sane? Man coverage he leans towards. Philip Buchanan is the comp. He's fast. Gerald Bush. You're going to see a lot of Rondé Barber comps, so don't freak out. This game kind of disrespects Rondé Barber a little bit. They throw Rondé Barber comps out there like NFL Draft Twitter throws Alvin Kamara comps out there. So don't freak out too much. You're going to see a couple of other of Rondé Barber. Basically, they just say any nickel corners Rondé. So Tim Wyrick, 95 speed, hands. He's 5'9", but he looks pretty nice. I like that. I mean, we do need a nickel corner as well, so I think a 5'9" playmaking nickel corner could help us out a little bit. Flash Reigns, I think we would have a slight chance at him. He was a draft story. We don't know anything about him. If I were to make a move up for him, I would want to know something other than just he can press and he's tall. So I think Flash Reigns is one of those premier prospects that I'd want to know a little bit more about. Run support is kind of a negative there. That doesn't bother me. You know, I prefer these guys cover because we can't cover right now to save our lives. But the final individual workout is here, and I have spent 8 of them on defense, one on offense. So you can kind of see where my head is at here. I still, like I said, want to find a number 2 running back because Portis is up there. 29 years old at running back is a little scary, and we just have nothing else as a backup. I don't want him carrying the football 300 times a year. I'd like to get another guy who can handle the football a little bit and maybe be a future plan for us. Sad thing is, it's a very top-heavy running back class where there's a couple of guys at the top, and then everybody else is pretty whatever. Travell Harris was a dude who refused to run at the Combine, ran at his pro day, wasn't that fast, but he seems like a very safe, high-floor running back. I don't know if that's a guy I want to use that on, but receiver, it's a really solid receiver class. We don't need a receiver, though. So in kind of searching for what we should do, I go back to the offensive line. We do need some line help. Colin, I mean, we can flip a left tackle to right tackle. That wouldn't be a big issue. It's just like all these linemen just don't compare to Travion Davis, and we're just not going to have a chance to get him. He's 95 overall prospect comp to Orlando Pace 6'9", 350, who's just a monster. He's like the greatest offensive line prospect ever. We're ultimately just looking for something a little bit more in our price range and a little bit more within our grasp.
Adam Schefter of NFL Network here, checking in with another installment of the EA Sports NFL Draft Update. I just got back from Columbus, Ohio, and the Tyrod Darling workout, and man, did he look good. He ran a blistering 4.4240 on the fast track at Ohio State and was great in the individual drills with the coaches. More and more, it looks like he's solidifying his place in the top 5 picks of this draft. Another player brought in for a workout recently was Houston's Cole Roberts. This kid reminds a lot of people of Matt Hasselbeck's type of quarterback. Great passer, smart decision maker. Roberts' workout went pretty well. He ran the 40, went through some passing drills, and had some one-on-one coaching with one NFL team's quarterbacks coach. I have him ranked as the 3rd best quarterback in the draft right now, but we'll have to wait and see what happens in April at the draft. Thanks for watching NFL Network.
Maybe a little last-second quarterback prospect popping up. I don't know if I want Matt Hasselbeck on the team, but it'd still probably be better than what we have. So, free agency recap. We are going to be on to the draft. The last thing we will show you is kind of the free agent results and what the prospects' potential that we scouted were. So here were our losses. Nothing crazy. We didn't lose any players that's really going to, hurt us long-term, I don't feel like. So some of them signed with teams. Most of them did not. Chris Horton is probably the biggest loss because we still need a safety, but that's about it. That's fine, though. And then our additions, I did sign a couple of backups. Brandon Merriweather maybe could be our safety. I signed a couple of whatever players for us, so that wasn't really worth showing. But let's get into the potential of these players. So Colin Longare is going to be a 91 potential compared to John Jansen, who previously was on our team. Mike Lumberg, 92 potential, looks to be a monster for whatever team ends up with him. Tim Wyrick, 85 potential, not ideal. Probably not someone we're considering in the first round, but maybe a day 2 player for us. So we go to who could be our next player, Corey Conway, 90 potential. So 2 good tackle prospects. 90 potential is what you love to see. So we are going to be targeting one of those guys with one of our picks. Brandon Bellamy, really disappointing, 81 potential. And if that's the best safety prospect on the board, what are we going to do about that? Greg Brewer, comp to Javon Curse. I know he doesn't fit the scheme, but 80 potential. Rough. Marcus Danzer, 86 is okay, but if upside's one of his best things and his upside's not that great, then what do we do? Those were not the best results. So we're going to get into the draft, and we're going to go pick by pick. If an opportunity presents itself, we will go for it, but ultimately, we're going to see these draft stories.
Tyrod Darling is the definition of a lockdown man corner. Reminds me a lot of Champ Bailey, although not quite the playmaker with the ball in his hands after turnovers. But who's complaining? His man-to-man coverage skills, speed, and size are elite on every level. He was named to the first-team All-American team the last 2 seasons as a sophomore and a junior at The Ohio State University. He ran a 4.41 at his workout, which eased the minds of the scouts after his 4.57 times at the Combine, even though that was considered a fast track.
Going to be a lot of pauses on me talking. Tyrod Darling going number 1, a CB going number 1, number 2.
Vanell Rice was simply electrifying as an All-American wide receiver / kick returner with the Cal Bears. 10 touchdowns, 75 receptions, and 1,300 plus yards makes Rice one of the draft's most productive receivers by far. His 105-yard kickoff return touchdown to beat Stanford in the last 30 seconds reminded a lot of people of that famous finish from the legendary 1982 contest with the band play.
A couple of draft stories there. So Linnell Rice going, so a CB and then a wide receiver going one. I'm just going to be checking trade-up options every single time just to see what the price is looking like. Alan Sane goes there at number 3. We weren't going to have a chance at him. Number 4.
It's always a good sign when the reigning college football most valuable player goes early in the first round, but I guess with West Virginia's C.C. Beachum, there never was really a doubt. He's got to be one of the most creative runners we've seen come along in years. His elusiveness and moves are off the charts. Undersized at 5'8", but is built like a missile at 215 pounds. Look for Beachum to become a regular visitor to the Pro Bowl for the next decade.
Beachum would be fun to have. So Ravens on the clock at 5. They are not interested in trading up. They go quarterback.
Brett Cardinal, Mr. Boise State football, is going to be a very effective NFL quarterback in the very near future. His strengths are mobility and playmaking. He's got a Brett Favre-like ability to win games and make plays at the clutch times. Ironically, Brett Cardinal idolized former Arizona Cardinal quarterback Jake Plummer growing up in Phoenix, Arizona, and now most of the talking heads are comparing him to his idol.
So not every pick is going to be a draft story. So I know there's a lot early on, but the top players do deserve the draft stories. Usually in these drafts, there's about like maybe 10, and we've already seen a couple. So number 6 overall pick is, there is some interest in trading. I mean, I'm just always on the phones taking a look. That doesn't mean I am interested in trading or will trade, but it's always important to just take a look just to see what the offers are. They go at Flash Reigns at 6, the Lions at number 7. They are not interested in trading, and the Lions go QB.
Clarence Bowman is one of those elite college football athletes that can basically play 3 or 4 or even 5 positions in the NFL. He happens to be entering the league as a quarterback, the most difficult position to learn and star in right from the start. Expect this unbelievable athlete, who ran a 4.45 at the combine and threw the ball over 70 miles an hour in passing drills, to start slow. But watch out when Bowman's ready to break out.
You know how much I would have loved to just move everything to go and trade for a guy like Clarence Bowman? Just have that raw athlete at quarterback, and that would have been so great, but they weren't interested in trading up. We see the Seahawks go Bird at number 8. So we'll see how long we get before another draft story pops up. Again, always looking for some potential trade-up opportunities. Saints go wide receiver, as if that offense needed more weapons. The Falcons at 10. This is where we get something here. Okay, so they are interested in Chris Samuels, and it would take basically Chris Samuels and a couple of other picks. I mean, it wouldn't take much if we wanted to move to 10. The question would be, who would we move to 10 for, and would it be worth trading our Pro Bowl left tackle to do that? So that's where, you get into some risky territory. If it's like, man, you're trading a 92 left tackle, would that be worth it? Now, the offer that they want picks. They don't want Chris Samuel that much, but like, they want him enough to consider it. It would take Samuel 4th, 7th, 4th or 5th, maybe 2 5ths. So, yeah, we offered Samuel and 2 5ths. I think that's at least enough of a steal to make that offer. I just don't want to offer them picks. Chris Samuel's a 4th and a 6th. They say no. So we gave it our best shot. That was basically as good of an offer as we could have made for Chris Samuels and picks. They wanted, our first next year and stuff. We weren't willing to do that. Broncos at 11. They're not interested in any of our players, so we're going to let them go ahead and pick at number 11 and see who they go ahead and take. Broncos at 11 will go and take a corner. Bengals at 12. They go receiver.
Jason Boomer Birdsong from Clemson is one heck of a return man and is just as dynamic of a weapon at wide receiver. He led the Tigers with 12 total touchdowns, 3 by punt return and 1 by kickoff return. He can stop and turn on a dime and is elusive in the open field. The biggest knock he has is the combine time, which he ran a 4.59 when he basically promised sub 4.4. He promised a lot, delivered less, but he's still a top prospect.
Honestly, doesn't sound like a crazy prospect, but the thing I'm stunned about right now, Travian Davis, who is like the number 1 player on the board, hasn't been taken yet. He doesn't go at 13. Chargers at 14. Trade up option is here, it's gonna cost too much. They're asking for our first next year, our second this year. I mean, they're just asking for too much. That's just not gonna happen. But Travian Davis is still on the board. That is stunning, and he doesn't go here either.
Mike Lumberg is an impressive blend of height, strength, speed, and athleticism at 6'4", 260 pounds. He's really been a big part of elevating USF to a national power, as evidenced by his back-to-back Big East championships. This Lumberg kid will really put you to work out there on the ball field.
Okay, this is just getting ridiculous. Lumberg's a great pick and all, but Travian Davis, like, he's the #1 player on the board. He's literally Orlando Pace 2.0. Like, we need to do something here. Like, this is just too good of a player to be falling like this. But the offers, I don't want to give up a first-round pick next year. So the Texans at 15, they will be taking Bellamy, who we didn't like Bellamy. He's not that good. Wrong Florida kid. Pick 16, Panthers. Do we do that? Like a first next year and more first next year, our second this year? I just don't want to give up our first next year. Panthers at 16, don't take him. Are we serious right now? 17, the Vikings. And we might be on the board here. They want some of our players. Again, you have to keep in mind the players that are our overall, like, their overall here is what their overall is for us. They might not be that overall for another team. They might be, you know, basically our trash might be their treasure. The thing is, the offers aren't amazing, but we'll see what we can do here, because I would give up 2 seconds. I would use my 35th overall pick, another pick, and a player to move up. Would that be enough? I'm going to try to get it. Maybe it's a little bit of a low ball, but it's worth a try for a player this talented. I don't want to give up a first-round pick next year, but I will give up whatever else you want. I'm going to keep trying it, and they are looking 2 seconds and a safety. We are on the board! 2 seconds and a safety, who very well could have been our starting safety this year, but you go and throw out a whatever starting safety. 2 second-round picks. We may not have a second-round pick next year, but there is just a player too good to pass up. Travian Davis, the #1 player on the board, is sitting here at pick 17. Unbelievable. I don't know what, did some Laramie Tunsil type situation happen here? Like, what's happening? Did he get leaked or something? What happened? We're selecting our left tackle of the future.
Travian Davis is the best offensive tackle prospect to come along since Orlando Pace from The Ohio State University in the 1997 draft. An absolute monster in terms of size and speed at 6'9", 350, and freakish speed makes him maybe one of the best athletes in NFL draft history. He's excellent at using his long arms and strong hands against any type of pass rusher.
So what you're telling me is he's perfect. He's just the perfect player. He's just a perfect prospect. 6'9", 350, 23 years old, perfect physical health, long arms, dominant player. I don't understand why he was here at pick 17. But even though tackle was not the #1 need on this team, could you blame me for making that move? Could you blame me for making that move? I don't think you can. And you gotta be throwing a party if you're a fan of the team, because if you go and got that type of player, I mean, imagine like last year, like Joe Alt fell to like 17 or something. So now with the 27th overall pick, we still have our 35th pick. We do not have our other pick. That was in the second round, our original pick, but we still have the 35th pick of the draft, and I'm still interested in making moves. I'm not done yet. Quarterback gets selected there by Chicago, so we'll see if he ends up turning into anything. But I am really interested still in moving up, because there's some still really talented players on the board, and I mean, McGuire was a player we selected last year who was, I guess right now, would have been in line to be our starting tackle next year, because Chris Samuels is the left. McGuire, we could have moved over to the right. He could have been in line to be our starting right tackle next year. I'm not really thinking we need that anymore, because at the very least right now we have Samuels and we have Travian Davis. But if we can move McGuire and a pick or something, McGuire, Trey Fisher, that Fisher would have been a starting linebacker for this year, but if we can move McGuire in a third to get up in the first round, or maybe Fisher in a fifth to move up a couple of spots, I'm down for this. I think we can make a move here. The 28th overall pick, McGuire, Fisher. That seems like almost like a scam to give that up for a first round pick. But 3rd round pick, McGuire, and a 5th. So to move up, like maybe, 50 spots or something, get a 5th round pick, throw them a starting tackle. They are fighting us on it. They want more, but they accept in the end. So we traded our what presumably could have been a starting tackle, a 3rd round pick, and a 5th round pick to get up in the 1st round to make a selection here at pick 28. And what could we be doing? Marcel Rayford is here on the board. Michael Poe is here on the board. Corey Conroy here is on the board. He's got 90 potential, and you may be saying, well, maybe we could go and double up on tackle. You know, Travian Davis on one side, the other dude on the other side. Sam Cumberland, though, I didn't full scout him, but man, is he fascinating. 95 learning. He looks like a monster. I'm kind of comping the two, but he just looks better than Conroy. I know he's a guard. We could use a guard. Like, we don't need a guard. But Randy Thomas is like 34 years old or something. We could use him. So Sam Cumberland, come on down, doubling up on the offensive line. And then the next pick at pick 29 is going to be a draft story.
Marcel Bring the Thunder Rayford is one of the most feared defenders in college football history. Rayford's specialty is bringing the lumber, usually at the expense of Pac-10 wide receivers. He has the size and strength to match up against offensive linemen in the box. Watch out, Roy Williams. You have some competition for the most feared hitter title with Marcel Rayford roaming NFL secondaries.
Honestly, Rayford is a player we could have went for, but we weren't going to go for that. So now, from here on out, we're just going to kind of get to our picks. So now we're at pick 35. We've already doubled up on the offensive line. Conway is still here at pick 35. He's the 35th player on the board. And I mean, it'd be kind of crazy to go triple on the offensive line, especially with some of the other needs that we have. Chester Randolph at safety. We don't know his Senior Bowl scouting and his coverage stuff. So, I mean, that seems like a bit of a risk. Conway, like, if I really wanted to just triple up on offensive line, I could here. I don't want to do that, even though he's got 90 potential. Like, I know he's going to be good, and we need potentially a right tackle if we want to, you know, completely overhaul this offensive line. John Rollerson, the other USF linebackers here, he's pretty abysmal in coverage, as well as Michael Poe, who's still on the board. As you know, that was a player I was kind of interested in. So I want to spend this pick on defense. We just spent 2 first-round picks on offense. Michael Poe is here. He's slipped a little bit. I know he can't cover, but we don't need him to cover. He's not going to be our out-and-out starter to start things off. He has some positional flexibility. He's 275. He can play on the edge a little bit. He can play outside linebacker. He can play middle linebacker. He, at the very least, is also going to be a run stopper for us. So Michael Poe, I think, is going to be the pick here. I think that that's going to be the best option for us. I know he stinks in cover. Like, in today's NFL, he might stink. But Michael Poe, back in 2010, I think is going to be the move for us. So we go all the way ahead. We traded our 3rd round pick. Remember that. We traded our 3rd round pick to get up in the 1st round. So we go to start the 4th round. We have the number 1 pick in the 4th round. I don't actually even remember where we got this pick, but we have it. So going to the 4th round, we passed up on that right tackle who had 90 potential. Maybe some of you guys would have preferred I just triple up on the offensive line. But how about this guy? Howard Sanders. 94 learning, comp to Walter Jones in the 4th round? I mean, we do still need another offensive tackle, because now I'm starting to think Chris Samuels, we could just trade him. I know he's a Pro Bowler, but at 175 on the board, I know we're picking at 97. I don't want to miss out on a player who's comp to Walter Jones there. So we have another 4th round pick. They're recommending, once again, I take Adrian Baker at running back, who I'm interested in a number 2 running back. I don't know anything about these other guys. So he's 6'3", 247, which is hilarious. Like, he's just Derrick Henry sized. I think that for a team that we do need another running back. So I'm interested. And I also think for once, maybe just listen to who our GM wants to take. It's crazy how this draft has turned out. I would not have expected this. We're on the 5th round, and, you know, for a team that needed defense, we come out here and we just swing on offense in the draft. And that's not to say we didn't upgrade defense. We made signings and we drafted Michael Poe, but I didn't expect to come into this draft with, you know, maybe making 2 first-round picks, selecting the best player in the draft at 17. I think you guys can at least understand why, like, that was just too good of an opportunity to pass up. And I was very much speaking about, this is a draft of opportunity. If an opportunity presented itself, I wanted to take it. And regardless of the situation that we put ourselves in with some of the defensive struggles that we have, how can you not go and take the best tackle in the draft and make a move up for him? And Cumberland there is a really nice player. I mean, maybe we could have selected somebody else with that pick, but the thing is, I said I didn't want to force a defensive need. There just wasn't any corners I was invested in. There wasn't any safeties that I had enough info on. So, you know, in looking here in the 5th round, looking at some players, I think for the rest of our, like, day 3 picks, we can maybe invest a little bit in some developmental pieces in the secondary. Natrone Randolph, I know he's a good athlete. He's pretty weak, but I know he's a good athlete. He's down here at 185. It's worth taking. We have a couple of later round picks. We have another one here. So, I mean, I don't know. What would you guys have done in this draft? Like, Eric Kane, they did just recommend I take him, but, like, and I know I said no, but I do want a backup running back, and Baker, I mean, we'll see if he can be that, but I wouldn't mind just taking another running back. Let me know what you would have done in this draft. Did I make the right move? Where did I go right? Where did I go wrong in this draft? Because it's crazy how this game works sometimes where, you know, slides happen, and that's a slide that you just wouldn't have predicted. And also, sometimes you just don't get an opportunity to make the moves that you want to make. You know, I would have loved to go up and make a move for one of these top corners. An opportunity just never presented itself. The only trade up I was able to maybe get was I could have got up to 10 with the Falcons if I wanted to give up more. Didn't really go for that. 17 was the highest I was able to get up. A lot of the top corners were gone. And then, you know, you're looking at it, it's like, man, we really need defense, but Travion Davis, we got him. And then we go into the other first round pick, and regardless of if we took Cumberland or not, if we didn't take Cumberland, we would have taken the other tackle. But the other tackle, 90 potential, good player. Did we need offensive line the most coming into this draft? No, but we did need it. So I don't know. Would you guys have done the same thing? Maybe you guys also, like, hate the Michael Poe pick. I don't know how you feel about that one, but how do you feel about a linebacker who's a complete liability in coverage? But again, he was a nice player. We were interested in him. How about, you know, 6th round? Let's take a fullback, Marty Good. We did cut our fullback in Mike Sellers, and Marty Good is compared to Lorenzo Neal, who's a pretty dang good fullback in his time. Other 6th round pick, we are going to, you know, trade it out and go for 2 7ths. So, you know, teams in this game like to hand out 7th round picks for free. So we'll go and take that. We'll get a couple of 7ths on the board, fill out our roster with some other 7th round picks. And, well, I think if you're looking at one thing that needed to get better, that was maybe like that sleeper need, which was offensive line. You got to remember, we were sacked 40 times last year. I mean, it wasn't near the top, but 40 sacks is a little much. And if we are stuck with Jared May at quarterback for another season, well, let's at least give him every bit of opportunity and chance to succeed. If we go and surround him with, like, the best offensive line in the league with DeFazio Combs, Santana Moss, Antoine Randall, Clinton Portis, and Chris Cooley, that's a pretty scary offense, I feel like, if Jared May can be good. And while we do need defense, we did make defensive moves. So I think I did the right thing with this draft. Maybe not the most exciting thing. I don't think anyone sits here and gets excited that I went and selected offensive linemen with, like, 3 of my first 4 picks or whatever. Maybe you guys aren't excited by that, but Travion Davis excites me. Having maybe the best offensive line excites me, I think. So we're going to wrap this draft up. So the only thing we have left to do in this video is what I want to do is I want to get to the end of the preseason, which won't take that long, just so I can show you guys the potential of our players and show you their ceiling and everything, because I don't want to, you know, draft these guys in the video here and kind of leave you waiting for the next one to see how good these players truly are, because this game is not afraid to make rookies really good. Like, there are 90 overall rookies in this game. There are good players in this game. So, you know, it's not like Madden where the best you'll get is like a 85 generational player. Like, this game will just say, like, hey, if you're generational, you're just like a 92 overall off the bat. So we go to undrafted free agency. We kind of get our handful of players. You get 5 contracts to hand out. We go get our 5 guys, and we get to the rookie contract signings. Travian Davis, I mean, for a left tackle that is going to be as good as him, you presume, 3 to 4 million a year. Yeah, I'll take that all the way. Also, because of what we were able to do in this draft, you will see by the end of this video, Chris Samuels probably get traded, which it's pretty crazy how, you know, he made the Pro Bowl last year. He's a 92 overall tackle, and, you know, we're just ready to throw him out. I don't think we need him. That's unfortunate. Also, Travian Davis walked out of contract negotiations. We'll get that taken care of, but still, you know, disappointing there. Sam Cumberland, I did take a little bit of a risk taking an older player who I didn't have full scouted, but his skills look so good that it just was too much to pass up for me, you know, and maybe I messed up with this one. I don't think I did. I believe in what Cumberland's skills are. He's at least got the learning. He's going to be a high floor player for us. Michael Poe, again, he's probably never going to be a superstar linebacker, but for a second-round pick who could be a high-level run stopper, I'm happy with that. Also, I will just say, like, let me know what you thought of kind of the structure of how I did this video, because the first one, I did, like, face cam and everything, and I did live commentary for it, and it took, like, 4 hours, and I'm like, man, that's a little too long for this, and I know maybe 2.5 is still a little bit long, but it's a lot more tolerable to watch, I feel like, and it's a lot more condensed, even though the offseason's pretty long, but the offseason is the fun part of this game. So let me know how you felt about this. And as we kind of are like 2 months out from College Football 26 and the big plans I have for that game, kind of looking for like a bit of like a summer series to do. And I would love to get this out like weekly for you guys. And maybe we end up going 6, 7, 8 years in this game. And that's kind of what we do to bridge the gap to College Football 26. Also, San Jose State will be, you know, in its final couple of episodes that will eventually wrap that up. I have a special video planned for next month that I'm really excited for. But, you know, if you want to see more of this, like, genuinely, like, let me know what you want to see to bridge that gap to College Football 26. I know we're at that kind of dead point of the year where football season's dead, draft season's over. We're just kind of sitting around and waiting for the new season to start. And this is the most, like, empty part of the year. But on a poll on my channel, you guys did vote for throwback games. This is, like, my favorite throwback game. And I could play some other stuff if you want to, some other college football games. But just let me know what you want to see for these last 2 months before the new college game comes out. And I did promise you guys, Chris Samuels would be getting traded by the end of this video. And we do got a trade offer. It's a pretty nice one. So we did trade our second-round pick for this upcoming year's draft now. And we used that to move up into the first round. So I do want to get a second-round pick back, and they are offering us that. So even though technically the better offer here is the second-round pick in 2012, I want the 2011 second-round pick. I want it for this, you know, incoming draft so that we can have our second-round pick and actually have one for the draft. So we are going to trade Chris Samuels to the Green Bay Packers for a this year second and a next year fourth. Really good stuff there. I'm really happy with that. So we did complete a goal. We drafted a sleeper, and we did not draft any busts. So we're happy with that. And I am going to show you a little bit of what we have here for the progress report. And how about Travian Davis? How did you let this guy slip? 97 potential. To put that into perspective, 97 potential in this game is absurd. Also, Howard Sanders, like the 4th round tackle, we took 89 potential. He's an 84 overall to kick things off. He's great, but 97 potential, like, players in this game don't hit 99 overall. Like, 99 overall in this game just basically doesn't exist. Like, Brady has it, and, like, it's like Brady and Manning, and, like, that's it. Everybody else in this game, though, if you get 95 potential, that's, like, best in the game. 95, 96 overall is, like, as good as it gets. So we get to the end of the preseason, we get everybody's potential. Cumberland has 91, Poe has 89. We got a couple of our other guys, not anything crazy, but we knocked this draft out of the park. Travian Davis will head into his rookie season a 92 overall tackle. To put that into perspective, Chris Samuels, who was our left tackle, made the Pro Bowl last year. We just traded him. He was a 92 overall. We just drafted a 92 overall tackle who's going to be 92 overall day one at his floor, who could be as good as a 97. And not only that, He's about a decade younger, and he's about half the price. I think that is the best move we could have possibly made. How did the league let this guy slip? So you could take a look at his potential here. These are what his max ratings can be. He could have 95 run block, 94, 99 overall pass blocking, 95 pass block strength, 96 footwork, 90 impact blocking, 97 awareness, 98 strength, with still 68 speed, 88 excel, 67 agility, 96 injury, 92 toughness, and a whole 99 learning. He's just perfect. He's perfect. I don't think you could question this draft pick. This is like it's like the greatest tackle prospect ever. Sam Cumberland is going to kick off his career as an 87 overall with 91 potential. This is ridiculous. And he could have 98 pass blocking at his ceiling with 99 footwork. He's obviously not as good as Travion Davis, but he's pretty dang good himself. And that's going to be our new starting left guard alongside our new starting left tackle. So I know he's 26, I know he's older, but he's high floor, he's smart, he's got a good ceiling to him as well. And then how about our new starting right tackle, who maybe lacks some athletic ability, but he's a smart player as well. High floor, 84 overall to kick off his career, with 95 run block as his potential, 95 pass block as his potential. Strength is a little lacking, but I'm not mad at that for a 4th round pick. And all of a sudden, this offensive line is looking special. So the thing that made Sanders fall, he has 49 speed, and he's not like a super strong player, but 49 speed with some limited athleticism may never be a superstar, but that's a pretty good weak link on my offensive line. Michael Poe as well is our top defensive pick, and we wanted him to be a pure run stuffer. How about 94 tackle, 94 hit power, 95 block shedding at his ceiling? 83 pursuit could be better, but 95 play rec, 89 awareness, 90 strength. He'll never be faster, 82 speed. We can tolerate that. He'll never be able to cover. We can tolerate that. How about a max of 95 power moves? This is a guy who we could legitimately go throw him at like edge rusher if we wanted to. He could be a great pass rushing and run stopping edge rusher for us. Now, I mean, that's, I think, 4 for 4 on our picks. The rest of our picks, I mean, they were day 3 picks. None of the other ones were like crazy good. So, I mean, 94 trucking, we'll take that. He just doesn't have a high ceiling, and I mean, we'll see what he can do for us. I mean, the backup running back job is pretty wide open. 82 potential, nothing crazy. A fullback with 82 potential is actually pretty good. In this game, fullbacks will never be anything higher than like an 85 overall. So, I mean, we'll take that. That's actually a pretty good fullback, and he's got some stuff to him. He'll have good awareness. Carrying is the only thing I don't like about him, but he'll be able to block pretty damn good. He's got some pretty crazy blocking stats. 95 run blocking. Yeah, that's I guess that is Lorenzo Neal right there, so sure, we will take that. And I guess we do have one more surprise for the end of the video. How about Ben Roethlisberger retiring after the season to run for the Senate? Okay, game. I love this game so much. Ben Roethlisberger's running for the Senate, guys. All right. The expectations going into next year is to make the playoffs. I think that's fair. We were 8-8 last year. I think we can make the playoffs this year. I will promise that. So to wrap up this video, here is what the team will be looking like going into next year. Jared May is going to get another shot at this to see if he could be the franchise quarterback for this team. Clinton Portis, 90 overall after his incredible 20 touchdown season. DeFazio, Combs, Santana Moss. I mean, Jared May has no excuses. He's got 2 90-plus receivers. He's got a 90-plus running back. He's got a Pro Bowl tight end. And now on the offensive line, he may have gotten sacked 40 times last year. But Travion Davis, I mean, just by existing, he's now a 93 overall. Sam Cumberland, 87. Cliff Kennedy, who we drafted last year, 87. Randy Thomas, 91. And Howard Sanders is the worst offensive lineman on this line at an 85 overall. Defense, we did get some reinforcements here. Victor Abiamiri and Darius Cass will remain the defensive ends, but Tommy Harris has come in at defensive tackle in a trade. Big trade to get him. Mike Vrabel, we weren't able to move him. We're fine with that. We're keeping him around. And at linebacker, we have London Fletcher, Michael Poe, Mike Vrabel, and Thomas Howard, who was one of our big signings. Cornerback, I'm still not thrilled about it, but we did the best we could. Chris Gamble, Charles Woodson, Braylon Beaudreau will be the corners, and we have Fred Smoot as the 4th. The disappointing part was there just wasn't a lot of opportunities for us to get secondary members, and like I said, I wasn't going to force it. Brandon Merriweather being our starting Safety is less than ideal, but we will try to make do with that. So let me know what you all thought of this video. If you'd like to see more, how frequently would you like to see this? I am so down to record this so much. I love this game so much. I could play it for hours and hours. So if you want to see more, show the support on it, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what else you want to see as we're, you know, leading into what College Football 26 will give us, and I am trying to, you know, bridge that gap with some fun stuff. So hope you all enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.